And we are live. All right, welcome back, everyone, to our Traveler 2E. We are on the world of Edenfall, a custom-built world by me and my players in the islands subsectors, in the Reft subsector. And we are down here, if you are familiar with this area. This is an isolated world in the Traveler universe. It is our own bespoke version of the Traveler universe. It changes some political entities, but is mostly recognizable to someone who's familiar with basic Traveler lore. And this planet and the wider island subsector is in the middle of a civil war. One of the key players in that civil war is a force called the Unity. The Unity are cybernetically enhanced, a cult of ascension, sort of. They believe in machine synergy and that all biological and artificial intelligences and such should merge together to become one thing. At least that's what they say. There's been signs that perhaps that's not actually what's going on at the highest levels of this organization. But our players started out as teenagers at the very beginning of this ordeal. And they were, out just trying to make a living, just trying to earn cash. They became bounty hunters for a while. Now they've joined the Resistance. They've been in the Resistance a while, and they've sort of made a name for themselves. And in the past couple of episodes, they've been on a very specific mission that has sort of went off the rails and have left them far from home. So currently they are on a cement island outpost in the middle of the tropical ocean in the equator side of Edenfall. This island is known as Drake's Outpost. It is run by a man named Drake. And it is populated by a group of outcasts and these trade rats, which are robotic, rat-like droids that are ambiguous in Edenfall cities. That you can find them in back alleys, hawking wares, usually fencing stolen items or doing other shady bits of business. Never through a normal and prepared storefront, except for here, they seem to kind of set things up. In the last few episodes, actually, I'm going to let one of the players recap the last couple of episodes, so I won't go into great detail on that. In the last few episodes, they've really been thrown into some strange situations that has led them here, and they're going to end up between the end of the last episode and the beginning of this episode. I'm going to have a little montage, and I'm going to tell you guys a couple of things that are going to have happened. But before we go into that, I want to say it's been longest since I've picked on Ghost, but that could be wrong. I'm going to ask Ghost to do the recap.
Terrible idea, but let's do it.
So we are not really teenagers anymore. The four of us have decided that we are going to join this resistance against the Unity, and we found these cool suits that allow us to do super, well, not human, because none of us are human. We have super abilities when we're wearing the suits, and we can try to forward the resistance lines, so to speak. So we've been fighting with them. On one occasion, wearing the suits, we got crazy rushed, and we had to leave. And we found a submarine. So we've been in the submarine for a while, and we trucked out of our normal stomping grounds and come down to the tropics of the equator of Edenfall to try to get away from our enemy and hide from them in the submarine. But you can only stay in a submarine for so long before you just get bored. So Drake's outpost here has been, a nice little reprieve from the day-to-day churnings of the hunting and hiding that you do in a submarine. While we got here, and we've been trying to pull some stuff together to really help our cause. Unfortunately, I think we talked to this king last time, and he had said that in order to get some things that we need, we'd have to steal the head off of this rug thing down here. Terrible idea. We all realize that we probably do actually have the money to pay for the thing that we need, but let's go check it out. And I think most of last episode we were trying to figure out how to steal the head off of that thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure I'm missing some stuff.
Oh, it's definitely touching on some stuff, but you have a few gaps. Let's have Ronan fill in a couple of the gaps.
So yeah, we ran away from the city, did some submarine operations to get ourselves away, but we had to go rescue a dude in the water, which we did pretty rapidly to make sure we didn't get counter-detected. The actual captain of the submarine was injured, and we're getting her nurse back to help by the auto docks, and we came here with the leader of the resistance cell that we saved, and we're going to, and she's working with them to figure out what we're going to do next. We had the opportunity to go back to Drift, our home base, but we've decided to stay and help out Jill and the crew of the submarine with some follow-on missions.
Okay. Anything to add on to that, Thodups?
So I will add, yes, we did rescue a pilot that that crashed. We kind of followed that person's beacon out to the middle of, well, nowhere that we knew. And upon actually rescuing that person, we did get spotted by some ships. We did do some pretty good evasive actions, and thank goodness for the crew and the people that knew something about boats. We were able to evade that and move on. Yeah, so we docked here at the place that we're looking at on the map right now. And I can appreciate Ghost talking about how, yeah, we did wrap up a lot of our ending episode actually going into trying to figure out how to steal the head off that rug in that one area. But yeah, it did turn out that we decided to purchase it. We decided to purchase the necessary stuff that we needed for our characters. I seem to remember there's this character named Garrett that I think funded the whole thing. I think that was my recollection at least. But anyway, yeah. So, and we're kind of at that place right now. We're trying to decide what we want to do moving forward. And I think one of the options was that we go off looking for buried treasure. Was one area where there's some stuff that's out there that we could actually bring back to this particular location and actually make some coin off it and get some cool tech. But that is where our characters are at this time.
So you guys had actually already said that what you were going to do next time, and I only have to point that as a GM because I spent the whole day making a map for it, and it's not the thing you just said. So, close, but not quite.
It was one of the options.
That was one of the options, but it's not the one you guys said you were going to do. You guys talked to the League of Taurus lady over here and said, man, you got some really cool stuff, and I kind of want some of that cool stuff. And she said, hey, I only deal in these axe heads, but I will sell you axe heads if you bring me back these special materials I need. And those materials can be found in this sunken ship. And you guys say, hey, I know where this sunken ship is. And we ended the last episode with you guys deciding that when you went back out, you were going to head to that sunken ship. So close to buried treasure. Close to buried treasure, but not quite. It's very, very close.
Pretty good. Like there's stuff that's down there that's buried that has to do with treasure.
Oh, but there is a separate. There's a separate marking on your map for buried treasure.
Oh, okay.
So
gotcha.
there's
not that marking.
Yeah, not actual get shovels out buried treasure, but scuba dive. Kizik, is there anything that was missed here? And how was the sound check?
The sound check sounds great. Everybody remembered things well. Brelix has learned that the new Cryomorph has a lot of money, and we'll be asking him to continue to fund the resistance.
And not anymore, but yeah. But hey, other people have money too.
Not if you give it all the way to orphans.
So I have redone the Legacy of Taurus shop a little bit, which is one of the reasons we're going to start here. And feel free to look through some of the new items available now. These can't be purchased yet, but I did also put the things that you could potentially find to trade in for axe heads. And if you hold your mouse over each of them, it should tell you how many axe heads each of these things are worth. So you can be looking out for them as you're doing your salvage mission. And then the things you can buy are in here, plus other things. We will, we're not limited to that. I don't make cards for every potential eventuality. So there's still things you can ask for. The League of Taurus is a reoccurring organization. We'll just roll that into the recap. In the islands, and they are basically a independent entity that specializes in high technology. They go to mid or low technology worlds. Edenfall's a mid technology world. It might be considered. No, it's not high. It's going to be mid. It's TL12. And this place in particular, this settlement, is mostly TL10. But League of Taurus, they are independent of that. So they will bring high technologies into lower technology places and trade it for specialty resources that they need to further whatever their scientific pursuits are. That's kind of the basic gist of them, and they are a reoccurring entity here. So which one? We have Professor Enigma here, and she said, "Hey guys, there's this shipwreck out here. Then you guys can go out there and get that, and potentially, bring me back some of these materials I want, and I'll trade with you if you do that." Captain Anja is going to have made it out. You guys have had a little bit of a conversation with her. She's out of crew, and Jill has offered to stay on board. And technically, Jill has enough people with her that they could probably get by with that. But with you guys coming, that adds a full bit of extra crew. But Anja is a little concerned about the way the boat was handled last time. And while the boat needs some minor repairs and refit and a reload on one of the disposable torpedo launchers, which requires a little bit of extra specialist work, she's going to take the time to teach the party members the basics of operating the submarine or really any vessel on the water. And I've decided that because of that, each player is going to pick up Seafarer 0.
Oh, sweet.
This means that you will be capable of doing the very basics of handling a boat. Now, if things continue to go down the path of submarine, it's possible that when we end the chapter, you'll get another bonus in this direction. But I felt like it was fair, especially considering how well you guys had done in the past few episodes, and the fact that we are doing more of a skills-based rather than making you just do study sessions. But there is going to be a time gap because of that. There's going to be a roughly 2 or 3 week montage of Anja. She's still injured and getting better, and you guys helping work on getting the boat fixed up, getting it reloaded. Time is going to pass, and in that time, you're going to become familiar with the residents of Drake Island, of the Drake Outpost. Trade rat boats come in and out of this thing, and a trade rat boat, by the way, is oil drums with salvaged, like, corrugated steel / wood / whatever, lashing it together as a platform with a sail, and the only cabin on it is the stripped out compact car cab that you would have. The rest of it is just netting and cargo, and they are very, very ad hoc, and they're all a little different from each other. And it's just a very scavenged together Mad Max, Fallout, post-apocalyptic looking solution for having Waterworld, for having a small boat. And there's dozens of these things coming and going on a daily basis to Drake Island. Drake Island definitely has a tie to trade rats somehow. They are a huge percentage of the population here, which is unusual. You haven't actually got a chance to meet Drake yet, but you know he's a human from the conversations you had with the residents here. And Jill has apparently met him and knows him. Beyond that, while this is definitely a place that ne'er-do-wells would hide out in during normal times, during the time of the Resistance, this is the kind of haven that nobody causes trouble here because there are very few places that are a free port like this, and you would not want to mess this up. So everyone sort of treats keeping the peace here with a reverence that is an unusual thing for you guys. While there are guards, they don't have to do a lot to enforce the peace. So after these few weeks go by, you guys have had your basic training. Let's pull everybody. If you've had a chance to look at all the things you want to look at on this map, only a few things have changed. Let's pull everybody off to the side, and we will switch back to the submarine because you guys are going to find yourselves in the mess hall. Galley. That's the word they use. Of the submarine, and you guys are going to be having a conversation about, okay, what's our next move? Jill has a mission that needs to be done in a relatively short period of time. But there's other things along the way that you guys can do. Click this button. I'm just waiting for this to load.
I also don't have a character model.
No, 1 sec. That loading is taking quite a minute. I don't know what's going on with that. That probably means I've put something in the map that it really doesn't like. So you don't have this is Hylar right here.
Yeah, I brought him from my table.
Okay. Well, I couldn't find him on the map, so that may have been what happened to him.
Gotcha.
Oh, no, you mean you took the one from... You took the back. You took the backup. I didn't know you could unlock things.
I can't. It was unlocked.
Oh, well, that's my bad. That should not have happened. I will address that. This locked one on your table should always be locked and should always be inaccessible to the player. That way, I have one as the GM to grab when you say I don't have my token.
Yep, 100%.
My bad. Okay, it must have finally loaded. Okay, so let's see. Galley. I'm not going to be able to fit everybody in here, so we're just going to put you around the edges, but you guys are milling around this galley. Jill's here. This is Anja, by the way. I think you guys got to see her token last time. Anja has gifted Hylar the hat that he borrowed.
Oh, nice.
That's sort of a... She didn't really use it anyway. So she's... And she sees Hylar as the doctor who, like, you know, you've been helping patch her up and helping take care of her. So she's quite fond of Hylar. And she seems to be getting along pretty well with you guys as a crew. But everyone is kind of keeping to themselves, you know. Jill and the other members of her crew and Anja are all going by the last name Anchor, not because it's their actual last name, but because that's the cell they belong to. They don't want to disclose their full names. It's up to you guys to decide what you want to do in that scenario. So Anja's like, all right, so on the map, there's a copy of the map here, and there's a copy of the map here, wherever you guys want to look. She's like, we're at Drake's supply post. We need to get all the way to Ironwoods. A lot of the boys have talked about going into the shipwreck of the Stone Giant cargo ship that got sunk not too far from here. It's going to take us a few days at a minimum to get out there, probably a week. And then it's going to take us another week past that to get all the way out to the Ironwoods. But to do Jill's mission, we got to get all the way to the Ironwoods proper. So let's talk about what we want to do. Do we want to stop at the shipwreck along the way? Do we want to bypass it, go straight to Ironwoods? Or do we have some other plan in mind? She's like, I don't really care. I've actually made a significant profit trading back and forth with Drake. So the ship's fully fueled, and we've been reprovisioned with everything that's essential. I'm happy to help out. You guys saved my life, saved my boat. More than happy to help you achieve your means.
I think we'd really like to go diving at the Stone Giant wreck on the way to Ironwoods. Right, guys? And I kind of look around.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed.
Okay, salvage diving. She pulls out a couple of navigation charts on her tablet and looks at it, and she's like, well, there's good news. It's not in that deep of water. We could do traditional scuba diving, or if you guys want to use the deep dive suits, we can. It come with advantages and disadvantages either way. Bad news is that is inside the patrol zone for the Unity's hydrofoil patrols. As a rule, even though this is a really small sub, I do try to stay as quiet as possible when in that zone. Because if they pick us up and start chasing us, as you guys found in your encounter with them, this is not a combat vessel. It's also not really a stealth ship, but it has some stealth by sheer nature of being a submarine. That's what makes it such a good smuggling vessel. Yeah, I'm willing to do it. I think we can do it. You guys can decide how to do it. We've got a couple of weeks of standard rotations, of travel. So I have not been to the wreck. I don't know what condition it's in. I'll let you guys plan out how you want to do it, and you just let me know. And Jill's like, yeah, my crew will probably let you guys do the diving. Because we don't have experience doing it, and you don't have G-Force anymore. The pilot left, but you do have Jasper, wherever he is. We're gonna. So Jill and Anja are like, we're gonna support from the boat. Well, you guys figure out how you want to do your salvage, and they decide to leave the galley and let you guys spend time in the galley. You could also use the proper briefing room or any of the other rooms if you wanted, but this was the biggest room.
All right. I don't swim good. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. This is all kind of not my deal, or I'm not comfortable with it. I'm just put that out.
You suggest water entries so frequently, and
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't do them though. I
You
suggest them.
No, we totally did it. Like on our first mission.
I know, and you saw that I didn't swim too good.
I remember you talking about it was great.
Okay, so scuba suits or deep water suits? And I want to know what happened to the ship to sink it in the first place. We got to do some research on that.
I have a library here that's a great idea, actually. But deep dive suits, I look at Marcus, I kind of look at myself, and then I look at Hylar, and I go, I'm pretty sure that the deep dive suits are for humans, and then I look at Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I have no problem doing a deep dive suit. But she said we didn't necessarily need to do a deep dive. Do we know what depth this thing is at?
Oh,
I
that's what she said, at least, is that it was shallow.
Yeah, you could scuba to it.
Well, I'm good with doing that. We can definitely get down there. Of course, we'll need to be able to. Of course, we find anything of interest, we're gonna need to figure out a way to bring it back, right?
Yes, definitely.
So there's a couple things that I would be worried about is amount of time that we have on station, with whether we swim to it or we have the submarine go sit on top of it. Submarine is easily detectable if it can't go deep. So maybe we swim, like, park the submarine off a little bit, and then we go swim in towards the thing so we can keep the submarine out of harm's way.
That's a good idea. I mean, it kind of depends on the underground map, right? Of where we can park the sub and have it be, stealthy enough, right?
Yep. Or we can rig up like I don't want to say a bird call, like some way to communicate.
A decoy.
Not a decoy, but like a like to let them know that we're done or coming back or anything, instead of like a radio or something like that, which doesn't work very well underwater. We could make some sort of signal to them that sounds like some specific sort of wildlife, maybe to fool the Unity, so we don't have to again bring the submarine in closer.
Gotcha. Like an underwater wildlife. Yeah, you're right. It kind of is like a whale.
Whale sounds, yeah.
Jasper is, and he's like, "Hey, what are we looking for? Do we know what we're looking for?"
Metallic substances and gems. That's what they looked like to me.
Rare metals.
Okay, metals
And
are
anything else looks cool.
metals are heavy. How are we? We're not gonna swim with them. We got lift bags. Like, what are we gonna do?
Oh, maybe do a like an underwater line. Attach one end to someplace and another end to near us, and then we can put it on like a trolley and send it.
Yeah, that, or float a buoy and then have the submarine's vulnerable on the surface, but if it just has to go by and scoop some things up, that's, it doesn't have to be up there for very long, and the submarine can only open those cargo doors when it's on the surface.
That's all very important to figure out. Yeah, we can ingress, but how do we egress?
Well, there's a underwater, what did the sailors call it? The wet porch. It can open underwater. It's for letting the dive suits out. I'm sure we could take the scubas out. I think the top section, I can't remember what it's called, that can be flooded.
The conning tower.
Yeah, I think the tower can be flooded too, in shallow water, to allow for regular diving suits. In fact, I think the diving suits are kept in the lockers up there.
I remember seeing those. I think that's true.
That's where they're at.
But yeah, hand carrying everything out, probably a bad idea. Maybe we could get a some sort of robot or automated vehicle to follow us in.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever you guys want to do it. I just want to make sure we knew what we were looking for. I've never done this before, but I'm assuming wrecks are dangerous.
I would guess so. And we need to figure out what sunk that ship anyway. Was it, are we going to go in there and it's filled with live torpedoes that'll go off at any moment if we, knock them over? That's dangerous shit we need to know before we go in there.
Yeah, I don't know what the cargo was, but I've definitely heard the Resistance guys talking about it. It was sunk with the torpedo. I don't know if it was this exact group or if it was one of Drake's groups but the rumor is that someone sank it in an attempt to do piracy, and then it sank too fast, and they couldn't get a lot of loot off of it before it went to the bottom.
Do we have, or can we find, relics like ship schematics? Do we know what class of ship it is so that we can kind of know what we're looking for? Like if we expect it to have been hit by a torpedo, do we know where storage areas would be, where engineering would be, things like that, so we can know structural integrity so we don't have it collapse around us or anything like that?
Yeah, who owned the stone giant?
Brelix looks down at his tablet and kind of closes his eyes and goes internally, "Hey, Churchill."
Oh, do we need to talk to me now?
I'm not just trying to use you as a tool or anything, but you have a lot of knowledge of battles and stuff happened. Can you tell me about the USV Stone Giant?
I can tell you that USV stands for Unity Supply Vessel. I can tell you that the Stone Giant was reported as being sunk by resistance fighters to the Unity from the databases I have access to, and that scuttlebutt around the resistance is that one of the resistance groups did it, but nobody has logged that information electronically in a space where I can put it. Also, the Stone Giant is a Minotaur class cargo ship, and you can find those schematics in your tablet.
I tap the Minotaur class schematics, and then I go, it's been a couple of weeks. We're still on the submarine. The captain's getting better. We're helping Jill with a mission at Ironworks, and then we're going to escort her to the rendezvous point, unless you think that maybe she'd be okay by herself, or what do you want me to do? Just checking in, man. How's it going?
We're still out in space. Things have become a fluid situation out here. We have offloaded the refugees. You should try to get to the rendezvous point. Talar is going to be grumpy. He was expecting you weeks ago.
Yeah.
He hell dove in pods with a full mobile kit for your suits and a bunch of battery packs. And you guys didn't show up. And he's in a little bit of a tight spot. Of course it's Talar, so he's taking it in stride. But he's got a lot of valuable equipment and no way to defend himself.
Oh, well, I feel a little bit bad now. But we'll definitely go there then. That's we got to go save him now. Not save him.
I was about to say, if you decide you're not going there, then you might want to let me know so I can get a message drone out to him.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever researched like collapsing ships and how dangerous that is?
I've not researched it. A cursory search does suggest there are many potential dangers, most of which are common sense. Your friends are starting to look at you weird.
Yeah, I should talk to them now. I'll check in later.
That would be nice.
And then he kind of looks up from his tablet and goes,
You okay, buddy?
yeah, there's a lot of research here on this tablet. The Unity USV stands for Unity Supply Vessel. It's a Minotaur class vessel. And do we have a TV in this room? I can throw the schematics up there.
Yeah, bring that shit up.
You kind of have to put it on your tablet. There's a
Um,
TV in the other room if you want to move rooms, but I mean,
oh, there isn't a TV here. Just gather around. Like you can zoom in here.
also everybody's got both a tablet and implants where they can see things, so like you could just send them the file.
Also, I can. You got the airdrop on. I'll airdrop it here.
AirDrop.
We're all part of the SharePoint.
Yep. Well, except for poor Jasper, who really actually has to use his tablet. He doesn't have cool implants, but he's kind of okay with that.
All right, so was this thing a Minotaur ship? Those things armed?
No, it's just a supply vessel. So as you pull up the schematics, it is a basic bitch supply vessel. Purely dedicated cargo craft. It existed here before the Unity arrived. They confiscated it, slapped a new coat of paint on it, sent it out to move. Basically, what it's been doing is grabbing things from places that aren't city centers and moving it to one of the city centers. But because it was operated by the Unity, it was considered by the Resistance to be a legitimate target, although it was almost certainly operated by civilians.
Of note, those civilians, as we've seen some pretty wacky stuff from the Unity already, should probably defend ourselves one way or the other.
Well, like a harpoon gun?
I just don't know those. If there's any of those crazy little head spider thingies, we don't have any way to stop them from, exploding in our face, or just sucking our face off.
Do you know if they work underwater? That's
No idea.
I don't want to find out, Jasper says.
Concur with Jasper.
Yeah, we need to arm ourselves. I before we went to Drake's really cool sea place, I made this this thing here. The schematics say that it's a oh man, what did the schematics say? It's a hydro breacher. It looks like you hit the power button and then it it's supposed to turn these coils really hot, and it's supposed to be able to cut through anything. And it doesn't have an off switch though, so but it's pretty cool, right?
Makeshift plasma torch.
I mean, I feel like it could be useful.
It does sound like it'd be good on a salvaging run. That thing will
Sounds
run.
pretty cool.
It'll run underwater.
What's it, like induction heating?
It's got a capacitor, and then it's got a coil, and it turns the thing on, and the coil gets really hot.
Does Hylar turn it over in his hands or whatever? I can give
I'll check it out.
give you a better description. Give me just a second. That is the Hydro Breacher Plasma Torch. So it's made from a battery brick that's been wrapped in superconducting wire, and it got carbon-coated diagnostic cables as sort of like its disposable part. When you flick the switches, when you flick the switch on, it creates a jet of plasma out of the end. It's also pretty bulky. You kind of hold it by the battery. And that jet of plasma out the end, basically until it burns its coils out, it just runs. It just blows the whole thing in one shot. It only has 2 minutes of continuous use from the time you cut it on until it's going to be off. But it does look like it would cut through most armor like a hot knife through butter.
And burns it up. I mean, yeah, it'll burn underwater. Okay.
And it will burn underwater. That is, you're not a mechanic, but that's your technical opinion.
I also
this
found
looks sweet.
some plans as I was going through the inventory. I found a plan for a hull sucker clamp. Looks like it's a really crazy big magnet, which might be helpful when we're trying to carry some stuff back. That plus a bag that's got some air in it is like once that reaches neutral buoyancy, then it's easy to move, right?
You want to improvise
Easier.
some ballast or some float bags? Is that what you're saying? You're gonna Gonna improvise some lifting bags? That's a good idea, Jasper says.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's not just you using that, you'd have to make those.
I'm thinking even we could look into, I don't know how we would do it, but we can look into making something that would be a propelled type of thing so that we don't have to do a lot of swimming. It would just be like, I don't know, something we could ride or hold on to that would propel us through the water and whatever we bring back.
I like it. Only one thing about that is we got to make sure how it propels us through the water, because just a propeller by itself could be quite noisy, and we are in bad guy land.
Nope, hear you there.
So it sounds like we need to go make stuff. Our way there, and then let the captain and Jill know how we want to do this.
I mean, our overall thing is to park far away, swim there. Maybe can we use one of the probes to send a message back?
Yeah, that's an option.
How many probes do we have? Can we ride them?
I don't know. Can I go look at those and make an assessment if that's a thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Another option, depending on how far away we park our ride to the sunken shipwreck, would be to actually get some type of a tether, like a line that would go in between the two boats, kind of like a zip line, where we could actually clamp on and actually propel ourselves back and forth on the line.
That's a solid idea.
That might reduce the amount of sound, but also give us something stable to be able to clamp onto to kind of drag whatever we find over to the ship.
Jasper's going to point out that the cables they use at the dock that keep the ship from moving are a minimum of the size of your arm and are not thin, spindly little cables. Kizik, as Braylix gets down here, you're going to see that there are 7 of these spherical probes remaining. They're about the size of a basketball, and they have spindly little arms. The little thrusters on them could probably propel you, and you could probably hang on to the spindly little arms. The problem is going to be steering them. They run by remote ops and require a controller mechanism. I'm not saying it's impossible, but there are hurdles to doing that, but it could work. You also know by looking at these things that if you use them that way and you break them, that is like the most expensive scooter on the face of the planet. It's probably a 20,000 credit drone per unit.
Wow. Really, because it could come back out. I don't think the probes are something we should ride.
Oh, but they are remote ops and have cameras and spindly little arms. So the first question you guys had was, could you use them to recon? That's what they're for. It's for doing inspections of the outer hull and minor repairs. So they can do that part.
Oh, that would be perfect. We could send them into the wreck to actually get like kind of an idea of what we're getting ourselves into.
Like a whole swarm, or you have to drive them one at a time. And if I'm underwater, I've never driven a thing underwater while also being underwater. That's I'm gonna need somebody to hold me steady as I try to. Will that fit in a mask? That's kind of. I might need to work on some logistics here.
Well, we have some time.
You guys do. You got time for an AT montage once you figure out exactly what you want to build.
Float bags.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking.
up.
I'm thinking we just use big trash bags and ballast packs, but that might not be super stable. I don't know if what you guys are thinking, but the simpler we keep it, the more likely we're going to be able to make it. Because one thing we didn't bring on this voyage was a real mechanic.
Fair.
Well, also, the captain's awake. She might be able to let us into the armory. I don't know if she has underwater weapons there or not. But we're figuring out what we're going to make. A ballast bag. I was thinking of like maybe a extra dive suit. The trash bag has more space in it, though.
I like the idea of checking out the weapons area. I just think the idea is just kind of look at all of our resources to see what we have that we can pull together to make whatever we're envisioning.
We have tarps down in the storage area.
Those might be good.
With enough tarps, PVC glue, we'll make some pretty... I mean, they'll be better than trash bags. Larger, more stable. Make them square instead of trash bag shaped.
Yeah.
Heavy
Do we
duty
have any
line
way
over
of-
there too.
Do we have any way of like putting air into them? I mean, are we going to be blowing on the side of these things and filling them up, or is there like a pump around here that we
So-
could do that with?
There are
There's
little ballast tanks.
there's also a crate of ballast venting packets. They explode into gas kind of explosively. We'd have to not have that explode.
Can we modify them to do like a slower release?
I mean, theoretically, yeah, of course. I also see a pneumatic hatch actuator, and I feel like that is the makings of the start of a harpoon gun. That plus a stick is better than a rubber band, right?
I go with Garrett on the we just see if the captain has any weapons for underwater first. We could also maybe rig up some extra air tanks, so that we can, stay out there longer.
Yeah, and use the extra air to fill up the float tanks, float bags.
Yep. I like it.
How long of the superconductor wire do we have? Use that as our transom line.
Yes. Superconductor. So your transit line, if you just want to make, I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking is the GM. My experiences with any type of small wire, and a superconductor wire is super conductive, not super strong. It's just gonna break as soon as the tide tries to move the boat. Think of all of that psi against the side of a boat pulling on a spindly little piece of cable. It's gonna snap like a twig. That's why boats have really big cables. So it's just not. I don't think it's gonna do what you guys think it's gonna do, and that's what I'm thinking as a GM is.
And when you add the weight of a bag full of metal on the other end of it.
It's logistically. There's also, as like Anja, and this is my other line of thinking, as the captain of the boat, do you want to anchor yourself to something like that when you are in a hostile environment where you may have to ditch? Because she didn't say it, but she did mention the bad guys are there. And what do you guys think is going to happen if the bad guys show up while you're in this wreck?
Bye-bye, submarine.
Yeah, good point.
If we're lucky, she'll come back for us.
We could have a small explosive that actually releases the line.
That's a dumb idea, and we'll move on.
So based on that, I'm kind of thinking that we investigate the tarps that we have, making sure that those can hold air and slow release some of the was that basically the air stuff that we have, or the ballast fillers to see our ballast venting containers.
So
Packet, see if we can do that.
I've heard a bunch of different ideas. What I think would be best is to have each one of the players champion an idea, and then do a MacGyver-esque montage or A-Team-esque montage of them improvising the device that they want to improvise, or getting the things that they need and getting them all organized and ready. O-Dubs, it sounds like you want to do ballast bags. Lift
Well,
bags.
that was initially Ghost's venture. I just was kind of trying to think the thought through.
You can do it if you want. That's cool.
All right, I guess I
you
will
got a
take care of
plan.
that.
You can do it if you want to.
You can do it.
What's your montage?
So, montage is going to be going down, getting some of the. I'm going to go down into the cargo hold area. Going to start taking inventory of our tarps. I'm going to set them all up, kind of measure out the weight, measure out the sizes of them. I'm going to try to get them to be as large as possible. However, I do want to be able to, again, and then of course fill those with something that's going to be able to hold air. Sew them up to seal them so that they can hold air. Before I do that, I'm going to need to add in an input, like a way of actually inputting air into the chambers, and that is kind of what I see as what I need to do.
Okay. The obvious check is a mechanics check, but if you can make an argument for a different skill, I will allow you to use a different skill. And then I'll tell you how your montage actually plays out.
So, what I'm thinking is, well, this is kind of sewing, so I'm trying to think of anything in there. Part of this is going to be having to. I'll probably like think about using some type of banding to help sew them together, which will probably use some of my physical strength to be able to tighten those, to be able to tighten them sufficiently where they stay knotted up and they stay bounded together.
There is, and I'm trying really hard not to fall back. It is a inside joke in this group that you should have heard many times, that I want to use strength to fix the intellectual problem. That is famously not a thing that we like to do in this group. But I also, just from its pure GM mechanical perspective, don't see strength as being a thing. Like, you can't just pull it tighter and make it. There's no amount of sewing where you just pull it tighter and make it watertight. You need to seal it with something. It's an intellectual problem. So we're going to go with mechanics for yours. So go ahead and roll your mechanics roll.
All right, so got an 11.
Good roll.
And then we're going to, of course, minus the 3 because of mechanics. So
That's 8.
that puts us at the 8.
Okay. You got a 0 modifier for your intellect and education. So you see Garrett getting the stuff together. Because of his explanation of strength things, you do see him like trying to sew, like he's ripping tarps. He's trying really hard to like force the things to be watertight. And every time he tests it, it's not. But eventually, he's down there, and we'll say it's Crystal is down there and sees him doing some stuff and is like, hey, I've got this stuff I used to put on fake nails that's like super watertight, and it looks like there's some stuff in the cargo hold that's like that. So she ends up showing them how to coat it in adhesive, and before you know it, they've got a good seal on the bags, and they're using the ballast popper, or what are these things called? The emergency ballast venting packets, but they're cutting them into small sections. They're using only small bits to fill it, and roll 2d6 for the number of lift bags you're able to create over the course of the next couple weeks. Good roll.
5.
You end up with 5 tarp-sized lift bags. I envision a tarp size is roughly a 4x4 lift bag. Okay.
How much do you think that'll hold?
That is a good question, and I'll answer that in just a second, because what I'm going to do is cheat, and I have a calculator over here for something else that might be able to tell me the answer. But while I'm doing that, let's go to the next person, which I'm going to say is Ghost. What device and montage are you going to do?
I think I'm pretty concerned with Unity things still being there and being alive for somehow, because they're creepy and they can do that. So I was going to build a harpoon gun, but in the cargo area I found some EMP grenades, and I think that those would be pretty cool.
I'm going to try to make them work underwater, if at all possible.
Okay.
And I think my montage is me studying the shit out of them and probably bugging Marcus a bunch, and then modifying the trigger mechanism and maybe the payload a little bit so that they still work against things underwater.
So you want to try to tune them specifically for aquatic life to stun it, I'm assuming?
Yes. And like,
or are you talking about like the Unity being down there and trying to disable? So,
yes.
Spoiler alert. Actually, let's just play this out. Hylar's digging through these grenades like, oh my god, I found these TL-12 grenades. This is awesome. There's bulk packets of them down here. And during the time when he's messing with it, Jill's going to walk down there and be like, oh, hi, Hylar. That's a delivery of grenades for the Resistance. That's the whole point of my resupply mission.
Oh.
to go. We could probably spare a few of these grenades if you needed some, though. The original mission was to load all of those crates of grenades into these empty rocket casings and then fire them with parachutes over a special drop point and deliver them. But that plan has went to complete shit. So we were just going to try to rendezvous with him and trade him as many of these grenades as we could, along with a few other things. But yeah, I could probably part with some if you wanted to use them. What do you want to use them for?
Well, I was thinking defensively, or maybe even offensively when we get on that ship. I've seen these things, like if they were Unity troopers. Oh, but you know what? That's right. Brellick said that it's probably civilians piloting the thing. I don't know, man. I'm just paranoid. I was gonna try to modify one of these to work underwater.
We did trade with the League of Taurus for these to get specially modified ones that work pretty well on the Unity implants. Unfortunately, at TL-12, they're still a little short. She doesn't say TL-12, but that's just, I'm giving you guys game mechanics. They're a little short technology-wise, but they still, enough of them have a brute force effect. However, I think that stun grenades would be better for the aquatic life if you could use them. I've heard that concussion, also underwater, can be very effective, although that's dangerous for you guys as well. Just some thoughts. The EMP would probably work to, like, there's all sorts of aquatic life that's like really sensitive to electrical signals, and it might be like a deterrent, or it might be a decoy. It might, like, if you could make it pulse at a lower frequency, maybe the aquatic life might go after it. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, there's things you could do. And well, like I said, we can spare some, just, try not to use them all.
Yeah, understood. Jill, did the captain let you into the armory yet? Maybe there's better stuff than the EMP grenades.
Jill's like, I've not asked to go into the armory. I'm not. I'm more of a strategy person. I can handle a pistol, and I'm not afraid to blow shit up. But yeah, I'm letting you guys be the soldiers here because that's what you guys are. You guys are the professional commandos. And you've definitely proven that, you're very good at that because you dropped from the sky and saved us from the Unity. Like, it was pretty badass. And the video of it is amazing, by the way. So as she says that, there is a sort of montage flashback that you would have, Hylar, of like a couple of people towards the end of your stay were buying you drinks. And in your mind, you were just like, yeah, I'm getting to know these people and they like me. And then you realize in the background on some of the tablets and stuff, you were seeing video of you guys doing your hell dive. Now, metagame, what has happened here, and each of you can have the revelation in your own way, is to counter the enemy propaganda. Calico and Tibers have decided to start up the Voice of the Resistance, and on their way out of orbit, they dropped a microsatellite with basically a propaganda cut video from the Resistance's perspective. And it centers around you guys' mission to save this group. And they've definitely edited it to make it seem much more badass than the action actually was. Not that you guys did badly, but like, it's been indulged. And that means that everyone who was listening to that pirate transmission now thinks that you guys are superheroes almost. Like, you're folk heroes at a minimum. And this can click into Hylar's mind, or you can be completely oblivious of it. It's completely up to you. But that is what's happened in the background metagame.
Just wait till they see the real video.
That video has not been released yet.
I thought that's where you were going in the very beginning. I was like, oh my god, everybody's seen this video?
Well, that video is sitting safely over there in Marcus's pocket.
I don't know anything about it.
Nope.
I'm going to go ask the captain for armory access.
Okay. Jill. Okay. So Anja's on the bridge. She's walking Carl through how to do certain maneuvers. And it's a pretty delicate operation, so you wait patiently for a minute. She notices you're there, and once they get to a good stopping point, she kind of turns in her chair and she's like, "Hi, Hylar. What's up? What do you need?"
Well, we're considering going inside this ship to, loot it and everything, and I was just wanting to know if maybe there was something in the armory that could help us during the mission. Would you mind if I get access to the armory?
Yeah, we don't have a ton of stuff in the armory, but I can grant you access. I ask that you not remove any weapons from the armory until it's time for you to go forth and conquer, and you return everything when you're done. And she steps away and tells Carl he has the con and walks you back here where she puts her palm on the door in no particular place. And it's like it draws an outline on the door, all sci-fi wise, and then it opens. And you realize that door is much more advanced than the rest of the doors.
Huh, yeah, we didn't even try to get up in there.
It looks exactly the same as the rest of the doors, but it's way different. So you're now in here. There's a rifle case on the floor, and there's a set of armory lockers on one side, and you can have a look through there. It's not listed here because I haven't made a card for them because they're kind of a special use item. But there are 2d6 spear guns, and the spear guns are located in the Central Supply catalog on page 148. And the stats for the spear gun are on page 145.
Nice.
How many did you roll?
I'm sorry, you asked me to roll?
Yeah, 2d6 for how many of them there are.
Oh, gotcha. Missed that part. My bad. Here's 2d6, and I'm rolling. Spear guns.
5 spear guns.
5.
One more than you need. I guess if you take Jasper, it's exactly the right number. And I'm just looking through here. There's another wafer chip with plans on it you can find, and then there's all sorts of regular, just conventional weaponry and armor, with a few interesting pieces in there.
Well, all right.
Oh, by the way, a makeshift lift bag made the way you're making it can hold between 400 and 450 kilograms per bag.
All right, that's not so bad.
That's a lot of kilograms. If it was professionally made, it could hold a lot more than that, but out of tarps and duct tape and nail polish.
Oh, shit.
That's
The
still
thing on the
pretty
data
significant.
wafer. She said I can't take any weapons or armor out, right? That data wafer
She
doesn't count.
she specifically said no weapons. She didn't say you couldn't take any armor out.
Oh, that's a good point.
And really, it's just a matter of, in her mind, people walking around the ship with things that can poke holes in the hull is just not a good idea. She'd actually feel the same way about your personal weapons. Like if you were carrying them around, that would make her uncomfortable. And during her submarine training, she would ask you to secure them like in your footlocker.
What, these guns?
And I'm doing like the arms.
Yeah,
I'll put them away.
Yeah, she'd laugh at that. Sounds like you're being very productive there, Hylar. You got lots of good ideas. So do you want to tinker with those EMP grenades still, or are you happy with the armory?
I'm happy with the armory right now, and I think I'm going to make an acoustic jammer, the sonar blaster.
That sounds like a
it's
very
me.
good idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to focus on. It's made of an ultrasonic transducer, a battery brick, and a diagnostic umbilical, which are things in the cargo bay. So while he's making tarpy ballast bags, I'll be making some jammers.
So what it is a handheld directional sound cannon. Overclocking the transducer causes a screeching high-intensity cone of sonic feedback. The effect, if successful, completely blinds underwater sonar systems in a 90-degree cone ahead of the device. If used against a living creature, like an indigenous aquatic life or enemy divers, it acts as a stun weapon, forcing a endurance check to avoid being incapacitated temporarily by vertigo. If the living being succeeds the check, results will vary.
Oof.
I think we all know what that means. I don't have to go into details, right?
Yeah, you can poop.
Only on a crit.
Right? What kind of roll? Is it a mechanics roll to put these things together?
Unless you can give me a compelling argument for a different skill.
Compelling argument? I can give you a half-assed shitty argument for a lot of things. But a compelling one.
Go ahead and try it. But you might end up rolling mechanics just like Thodos had to. But you can give it a shot. What do you want?
I'm gonna roll. I want to do a persuade because I want to ask somebody to help me, and then Huck Finn style have them paint most of the fence. And I think I'd love to use Brelix, but Brelix is probably going to be doing something else.
It can't be a player, but you can pick any NPC. The question is, which NPC do you pick?
Yeah, shoot. I think Carl is probably most mechanically inclined.
I'm going to let you do this because what I'm going to do is you're going to roll your persuade or whatever just to convince him to do it. Then I'm going to use his stats to roll it because I'm not sure it's going to be better for you. But it's how it would really work. I will totally do that.
I will, no, Carl's doing his thing. I just saw him with the captain. I'm not going to take up too much more time. So I'm going to roll a mechanics roll at -3. Mechanic roll.
Because you're doing the MacGyver thing, I'll let you use intellect if it's a better skill for you.
Education is better for me.
Okay.
I rolled a 10. Minus 3 plus 1
Not
is
bad.
an 8.
Sure is. Okay. Roll 1d6. You can make
5.
You can make 5 of these over the course of this multi-week trip
Ooh.
if you want to.
Yeah, if we got enough mats for it, I think I will make 5.
Okay. Write those down on note cards, by the way, because I'm not keeping. There are no cards for these. I'm not keeping track of it. And then we'll move on to good old Kizik. What's Braylix gonna do during his multi-week montage?
Braylix has too many ideas, and his first big question is: do the dive suits come with like swimming gear, or are they just the dive suits?
Please be more. You're talking about the scuba diving gear in the top conning tower, or you're talking about the
Yes.
deep dive suits?
The scuba diving gear in the top con tower. Do they have? like,
Yes, it's
fins?
mask, fins, tanks, suits, the whole 9 yards. It is for the purpose of scuba diving, as in relation to whatever thing you might need to do in shallow water, for this boat.
Awesome. I'm not going to try to make electronic flippers, which was my first choice. My second choice is we only have one cutting torch. I'd like to make more of those, and I also would like to try to make one of the electronic, what do they call it? Hole sucker clamp, which is just a big old super wire, battery, and some hand tools.
Do you just want to make one of each? Or you want to make as many of, like, how many of these are you making?
I would like to have 2 hydro breachers and 2 and as many sucker clamps as possible.
Okay. Go ahead and give me checks for each of them. And I'll let you make an argument like everyone else if you want to, if you, someone's distracted the shit out of me. If you want to, use a different skill other than mechanics, let me know. And you're not distracting Kizik, you're distracting the shit out of me, though.
I just want Ronan to look at it.
I thought he'd already seen these.
Yeah, I wanted to remind him that I had the recipe for some stupid reason. You probably should have that.
Hilarious, though.
Are there any computer? No, you don't use computers to build things. Just kidding. Come on, mechanics rolls. This is for the hydro breachers. Rolled a 6 minus 2 is a 4.
Okay, so you're probably not going to. It's a 4, so no. I was going to give you a break because you'd already built one, but a 4 still doesn't cut it. So you're not going to be able to put those together the way that you were hoping to. You can either make another attempt and not put the gecko things together, or you can.
I'm frustrated that they aren't clamping together like the last ones. Yeah, I think cutting into the hull of a ship is kind of the whole point of what we're doing there, and it's important to work on. And I calm myself down and I go, all right, meticulously. This is step 1, step 2. Then I roll a 9 minus 2 for a 7.
All right. That is much, much better. Okay. That is good enough. It'll be 1d6, and that's how many you're going to be able to make.
5.
Okay. Sorry, you said you only wanted to make 2, but since you're only going to make the one thing this time, I'll give you what I gave everybody else, which is a dice roll. So 5 of these cutters. So it's enough for everybody plus a spare.
Or 10 minutes worth of burning.
Or 10 minutes worth of burning, which, let's just face it, it's a ship. You might need 10 minutes worth of burning. All right. Ronan, what is Marcus?
One, thank you for the data wafer and the big giant arrows pointing toward it.
No problem.
So I'm going to see if I can make some of these Alice Popper grenades and rig them to do lower, rig 5 of them to do lower pressure, so that if we and connect them into our dive suits. So in the case that we run out of our regular tanks, we can these and refill our tanks real quick to get some extra time there if we need to.
You know, you can't breathe this gas, right?
Then I'm going to find a different thing to do. Because I don't feel like killing us. Okay, well, I'm going to...
As a matter of fact, it's worth noting that the emergency ballast venting packets, it's a highly volatile gas. It does not specify in what way it's volatile.
Got it.
But you don't want to breathe it.
Nope. So I'm going to grab some air tanks off these deep diving suits and some spare hoses and whatnot, and hook them into our diving suits so that we can have more air.
Okay. You're going to bring spare tanks. Okay.
Yep.
That's easy mode. I'm not going to make you roll for that one. Is there something you want to do that is a little bit more off the reservation?
Totally going to make between the anti-fouling hull paint and some of this barnacle bane concentrated biozidal hull solvent and some scrap metal and whatnot. I want to rig up some, not grenades, containers, so that we have the ability, if we need to clean away stuff, we have the hull solvent, some anti-fouling hull paint, and then I'm going to make some of these ballast popper grenades in a giant make random grenade looking objects fest for the next couple of weeks.
So you're going to make the cryocoolant canister and the ballast venting packets are over here, and you want to make some of those grenades. But you said you want to use barnacle bane and the paint for something?
No, I want to bring some of that with me, like make a container for it.
Okay.
So in the case we have like parts of the ship that we need to get through without trying to blow through it.
I was really hoping that a player was going to try to access this container in the last episode, and you're making me happy that this isn't a wasted puzzle. You walk up to this container, hold your mouse over it, and get a good read.
Yep.
The barrel is a heavy ribbed orange polymer drum with automated pressure release valves and a glowing status indicator that reads stable/corrosive. Let me assume that you Google this on your library. And may I make that assumption? You don't have to. You can just try to open this thing.
No. I assumed by stable/corrosive that it is not just a pop open container with a substance that I can just pull out with my hand or anything like that. Hence the desire to make a container that will hold it.
So as you look it up, it says this is a highly toxic, dense, gelatinous slurry used by shipyards to clean submarines' exterior. In the polar waters of this country, indigenous subaquatic flora, mutated microfauna, don't just grow in the hull, they actively secrete acids that eat through the titanium plating and foul up water thruster intakes. This solvent is designed to melt them away, and it will also melt away flesh to the bone. Because of all of this, it is kept in a specialized safety container. It is completely inert inside the pressurized drum. However, if it comes into contact with organic tissue or open air, it begins to off-gas heavily with a choking vapor and becomes incredibly corrosive. It is the outputs on this container are designed to allow you to attach another container that it sucks the air out of and then vacuum. Basically, you can fill another container from this container by using special valves and containers without it ever touching air. But you have to like attach everything and then turn the valves in the right sequence.
It's one of those like go big or go home moments because it sounds really cool, but at the same time, it will probably kill me.
I don't think it'll instantly kill you. It'll be a slow, agonizing death.
Yes. Hylar's got you.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do this.
Okay. So, I'm going to walk you through some of the monotonous stuff. You go to the maintenance, you find the specialized container that it's supposed to be put into, and the sprayer attachment that you're supposed to use to spray it onto the outside of the hull while underwater. So you find what looks like a paint gun and the canisters that go onto it that are supposed to hook to this thing, and you come back out here. There are 2 valves on this thing, an inlet and an outlet. And all you have to do is describe the correct sequence of events and then make your roll.
So there's an inlet and outlet on the
On the container. Oh, and there's a valve on it for opening and closing either of these inlet outlets.
Okay, so connect new bottle to it.
To
the inlet.
To the inlet.
Because it needs to suck the air out of it first, which would be, this is the inlet to this one. Do the inlet and outlet, both hoses go, can they both connect to the little spray bottle at the same time?
No, they cannot.
So my understanding, if I heard you correctly, is I need to suck all the air out of it and then open it up to put the jelly stuff in it.
That is true. That is the sequence of events you must make happen.
And this thing is pressurized. And it has pressure relief valves on it.
Has an inlet and an outlet on it that are basic valves. They are one-way valves. And they just go into the tank. So one of them only allows things to go in, and one of them only allows things to come out. Because in theory, you'd have to refill this within port or whatever.
Yep. I'm working through the... So the inlet is a check valve that only goes in. So if I open the inlet, nothing should come out.
That is correct.
But at the same time, I have no pressure in the paint jug, so no air is going to leave and go into the pressurized container either.
Hypothetically, yes.
But if I open the outlet without draining the air, it will touch air, become corrosive, and we all die. At least Hyler and I die.
So you got to pull vacuum on your paint can first.
Yep. I feel like I'm missing a piece to this puzzle.
I feel like you should be very grateful Hylark was helping you with this.
Oh, no, I knew the concept.
I'm looking for other stuff that would pull vacuum on the paint can.
Okay. There's, you know what? Let me do a roll for this. I know mechanics is not going to be a strong suit for you guys, but that is the best. That's the easiest roll to make. I will let you get away, however, with doing an investigate roll at a much higher difficulty. Because I feel like this thing would have like directions taped to it that if you really sat down and looked at everything, you should be able to do an investigate roll and kind of figure it out, because it's not like they want you to melt your face off with this stuff. Quite the opposite.
Right. It has to be usable.
Yes.
Agreed.
I'll do the investigate roll. But this is Ronan's montage. What do you want to do?
I was gonna convince you to let me use a vac suit roll, as it's a bunch of piping and pressurizing things to go back and forth, just like a vac suit or a dive suit, and see if I could conceptually.
That is the best argument I've had so far. I will let you use a vac suit roll at a slightly higher difficulty than a mechanics roll.
Sweet.
That doesn't stop Hylar from doing his investigate roll. You're both working on this.
Okay. Test chain.
It's several weeks long. You would have had the time for Ronan to be like, hey, I just need help with this one thing.
Even with my vac suit +1 -1, I still only got a 5.
Okay.
I got a 12 on my investigate.
Whew. Man, Hylar definitely saving the day. So Ronan comes in with the device that you guys use to test the vac suit's like suit integrity. And he's like, this'll draw a vacuum. And Hylar's sitting here reading all this stuff, and he looks up and he realizes that the PSI that tester would pull will basically burst the can, and is like, there's instructions. It says the paint gun has a valve on it. You just pump it and manually pump the air out, and it'll stay sealed. You plug it in.
That's what that button is right there on the side. I didn't realize it was kind of like attached to the plunger in there, and it's a one-way check valve on that too.
So hook it up, push the button until we get a vacuum, and then open the outlet valve.
These 3 steps right here. Yep.
Yeah. So you guys are going to be able to. So these cartridges weigh 1 kilogram apiece. Obviously, underwater weight is even more of an issue than it is normally. You can fill as many of them as you realistically could take. I think there's like 100 of them worth in this thing. So there's more than you are going to be able to realistically carry. I'm not going to make you roll for it, just so long as you remember that you have these things and how much they weigh.
Yeah, I'm totally not bringing 200 or 100 of them with me. I was thinking more on the lines of 2.
Yeah, I'll carry 2.
Oh. I did that math wrong. There's an extra 0 there. The maximum is 10 or 20. Still well within your limits.
Two paint cans, barnacle bane.
Okay. And that comes with a sprayer. So that's, if you want to use it the way it's supposed to be used, it's safe to use. I wouldn't spray each other with it, because it will just eat through your suit for like no reason.
Marcus finds out it's a great, spicy pepper.
Right?
It's everything.
He's not immune to corrosive, just poison. So.
Yeah, it's the good kind of corrosive for him.
Yeah. He's like, this will clean you right out. It's got that annoying paint can I ate 10 years ago that I just haven't been able to pass. This thing took right care of it. All right. So you guys are getting close to the destination now. We'll say it's the night before. Is that everybody got a montage, right? Did I miss anybody?
I'm good.
Oh, you got everybody.
Okay, good. Okay, so it's the night before. Submarines chugging along. It's nice and quiet. You guys are on your off shift, and you're kind of back in the galley and putting your heads together again of like, okay, we're really about to do this. We're going to be there, probably sometime late or tomorrow morning. Last minute planning, who's doing what's our plan, so on and so forth.
Well, guys, we got these 5 spear guns from the armory. The captain's got some other stuff in there, but most of it, she doesn't want just running around all over the place. But if you guys need anything weapon-wise, she's got like auto pistols and revolvers and stuff like that. Assault rifles, auto rifles.
Oh, and
that kind of thing.
make sure that you have looked at this weapon case, rifle case in the bottom, because it is a slightly unique weapon.
Yeah, I was gonna pull it out and then look at the card. Oh boy, a cartridge laser rifle.
Oh, I've been looking for you.
That is a bad mamma jamma right there.
She's also got the good one. It's the TL-12.
So, anyway, that's the captain's cartridge laser rifle. It's here on the ship. Everybody knows that now. Besides the 5 spear guns that I've been working on, some other things. I've got some sonar blasters here. I want each of you to take one of these. They're kind of like ultrasonic weapons. You can use them to blast things that can hear, and they'll take some stun. It'll be good.
I can hear.
Yeah, don't point it at your face.
Are we using that as a last resort? I think Marcus made a point that we don't want to be able to be too much heard, right?
That's true. We could also use it to, throw off any pursuers by like leaving them with like a remote trigger kind of thing. I don't know. I've just made them.
Or
Cool.
like it does blind them if we shoot it at them, like from a sonar perspective.
Oh yeah. That's true. So they can't ping us.
I mean, they could ping and whatnot, but there's just so much noise in the water that they won't be able to find us. So, it'd be useful.
You guys would have time to do a little research and kind of talk to the crew and Anja, and basically what that would do is they would know something was in that general direction, because obviously no natural thing is going to make that much sonar distortion. They wouldn't be able to target you at all because there's too much noise in the water. So it's not like it would keep you stealthy.
All right.
Good
What'd
job
you come up with?
getting weapons. I have 6 of these. The Hydro Breachers. Means we can cut for 12 minutes.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we'll cut our way in, find the loots, and then fight our way in and out if we need to. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
And then Garrett, how did the ballasts come out?
So I actually got, with a little bit of help here, I was able to get 5 tarp bags set up. And they're actually able to hold about 400 to 450 kilograms each, which should give us sufficient ability to be able to ballast these across. Additionally, I've worked out arrangements with the ballast venting packets where we reduce the size on those to allow for it to be more of uh, a controlled insert of air into into the ballasting bags, and also have set it up where I should be able to, with a valve, be able to reduce that so that if we need to adjust the ballast of the bags as we move forward, we should be able to take care of that as well.
They'd be called lift bags. Ballast is the weight in the bottom.
Yep. Yep,
They're for lifting things to the surface, so they kind of do the opposite of ballast. In this case, I guess your ballast would be your loot.
Yep, my bad. So yeah.
That brings up a good point. In our dive suits, because we're not taking the we're not taking the deep sea dive suits, so we're just taking the scuba diving suits. There's enough there that we can become neutrally buoyant, right? And we won't have to fight to stay down.
Yep, they are all fully equipped, so they'll have the options for weights to make you neutrally buoyant. They'll have the options, so you'll have tanks and fins and flippers and masks and pretty much everything that you can think of with a commercial diving as we would think of it today. They've got multiple sets of that upstairs, up to and including extra tanks, which is something Marcus has already sorted out for you guys. The advantages of the diving suits, because you guys didn't really ask this, but I kind of felt like you guys were going for the scuba suits, so I didn't bring it up. The scuba suits allow you to use your hands and maneuver as a person. The deep dive suits, as you can see, if you looked it up in the, actual central supply, is almost a mech suit, but not a graceful one like you're used to using. Like, it's got a robotic arm with pincers, and any kind of fine control or doing anything with anything that's handheld is going to be a challenge. They're really meant for, like, bottom of the sea floor deep dives. And so using something like a spear gun is next to impossible. By using the deep dive suits. And that's the main difference between the two options. Of course, the deep dive suits are vac suit skill, and the scuba suits are going to be many other skills.
With this room where the deep diving suits are, can we use that to exit instead of the conning tower? Or
yes.
How was that going to work?
Yeah, you can still use the wet porch for going in or out, even at shallow depths. The reason that it is special is because it works at lower depths, not that it's restricted. Like, you can't use the conning tower really deep, but you can use this. But you can use this at any depth.
Roger.
And that leads us to Marcus. What you got?
Not on mute. Yeah, I got this weird Cobain stuff out and worked. I'll almost kill myself in Hylar with that. Like,
I'm gonna kill myself in Hylar with it.
No, almost. Not going to. Thank you for the assist on that, Hylar. And I got extra tanks, so we can stay out there longer. And I didn't make too much of these little spray bottles, so I only have 4 of them total. Hylar's got 2 of them, and I got 2 of them. And those are going to be for breaking up barnacles and stuff like that. And then more air.
Yeah, air is important. So here's the plan that as I see it. We're gonna swim. I'm gonna carry one of the probes. As we get close, we'll use the probe to look around to see if we can find something good inside the sunken ship. We'll figure out the best way to get into there. We can cut through it. We can chemically cut through some barnacles. We need to be quiet and make sure that we don't get spotted by, they called them hydrofoils. I guess those are boats looking for us.
Hydrofoils are fast boats that have hydrofoils on the bottom, basically little fins on the bottom. I mean that they can lift up out of the water and move at high speeds. They're fast boats. That is the type of boat. What they're being used for is to hunt for resistance traffic on the water, and sometimes, as you guys discovered last time, underneath the water. All of this is something that you guys could have asked the resistance fighters, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this information in casual conversation because, they would have just said, yes, this is how that works. They're not constantly everywhere, and they don't have a huge range. But if they're overhead and you're down there, I don't know, cutting through a metal hull, and they've got their sonar listening, they're probably going to hear that from a ways out. Let you guys finish chatting amongst yourselves on this while I take a quick bio break. And if anyone else needs to take a bio break, then we'll reconvene in a couple minutes.
But, crap. I had something. I was going to say shit. I can't remember now.
Are we going to float the stuff to the top and then have the sub scoop it up real quick?
That was a question that I had, but I don't think that was what I was going to ask. But yes, that is a good question. We should figure that part out.
I mean,
We have a couple of options there, because it makes it neutrally buoyant, right? So we can, if we choose to, just put it enough, and we can, like, these bags aren't like super huge. If we don't want to commit the submarine to being visible, then we can just drag them back because they're going to be neutrally buoyant. We'll just need to pull them along. We can bring them in close to the boat and then go through the wet porch thing or the conning tower and just empty the bags as we're sitting in front of the submarine instead of surfacing the ship.
Yeah.
Surfacing the ship will be considerably faster. We may not need to go to that. It's just a couple of options.
I remember my question now. Do you think this guy would be able to be down there? Probably not, right?
I don't know if that guy exists or not.
I'm pretty
if you
sure
cut
we
that guy in half.
Yeah, I feel like we beat the shit out of that guy.
I thought there was a second one. I thought this one was plugged in and we never turned it on.
I don't know.
I might be mistaken.
Or you might be correct. I don't remember.
I
know one of them got the crap kicked out of it.
Yes, I did do that.
Was your idea that he would be the mule just carrying things back and forth?
It was among the plan, yeah. It was just forklifts got a forklift, you know?
Might be helpful. Oh no, there's a big old crane in the cargo bay.
Again, the cargo bay can't be opened unless we're surfaced.
Yep. We're trying not to be surfaced. Can we fit the huge bags through the holes?
Well, we're not completely against being surfaced, but if there's nothing around, yeah, surface, and it's way faster to use a giant crane and just pick things up and throw it in. But I don't know that there's going to be nothing around.
So we could make a decoy and pull them way far away. Drop it here. We're still, hours out. And then put it on a time trigger to have it release tomorrow morning. So it just makes a bunch of fucking noise over here and they come investigate. And then when we skedaddle, we go in the opposite direction.
Fair.
Could we put one of them on the probes and have the probe just be remote controlled someplace else?
And we've done that once before. These probes are like tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
kind
that's
of a
right.
complete waste to lose them like that. We could, instead of a drone, do something other remote trigger. But yeah, I think that's a okay idea, right?
I close to us versus an hour away versus we got to look at the navigation charts to see if there is an escape route. Because if we do have, like, right now I can get behind this will go off tomorrow morning. We have to be back and the ship is leaving at that time. Perfectly synchronized. This goes off as the ship breaches, but also we've ridden the ballast, the lift bags up to the surface and have looked around with binoculars. As soon as we have binoculars.
I used to.
Feel like I do. I do have my binoculars.
Oh yeah, they're on my character sheet right here. I don't know what I have anymore. Do I have this tactical vest? I don't remember.
You do, just not on you because we were in our power room.
Right.
Like, own it, yes. On you, no.
Are you bringing your sword with you?
I don't think a static blade's going to be working underwater. I'm definitely bringing a spear gun.
I don't see any reason why a monofilament blade wouldn't work.
I think the static blade works underwater. I'll double chicken.
I'd be afraid it'd fucking shock the shit out of me or something every time I turned it on.
I mean, that's a legitimate concern.
Yeah. It works or not under the water is up to the wielder, right?
Yep. I mean, it's one of those things where it just gives me another option because, a critical fail with the static blade's a bad day. It's an extra bad day underwater.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it. I should always carry it with me, but I don't know if I even have it. Yeah, I have it because I've killed people with it.
Yeah, you had it.
You have it because it's your one personal... Like, you get to take one thing with your power armor loadout, and that's the thing that you take. We also had a little moment where you forgot that rule episode or two back, and I was like, you might have shoved that laser pistol, even though it's not your official thing, like, in your underwear or something. I don't know. Because you pulled that pistol out and used it one time when you weren't really supposed to have it.
But I keep that in my kitty pocket.
So you guys have a plan? Because I stepped away for a minute, and when I came back, you guys were mid-forklift talk.
Yes. I was wondering if this guy existed and is a forklift that we could use underwater.
That guy does exist. There is an extra utility droid that is in the automation area. He does not operate underwater.
Okay, cool.
He can lift cargo in the bay.
Right. I definitely killed the other one, but this one was charging and never got activated.
He's got a lonely, empty cube next to him. His only friend is no longer around. He doesn't secretly walk up to you in the middle of the night and just stand beside your bunk.
How could he know? At all. How could he know it was me?
Oh, he knows.
I told him.
Fucking terrifying. Just in the dark, two red, beady, electronic eyes.
Oh, it's even worse than that because that kind of droid, like he doesn't have to illuminate his eyes for them to work. So it's just the nice. You know how when it's pitch black, but there's just enough ambient light that you can make the outline of something out.
Yeah.
It's just that you wake up and you're like, is it there? And you're a cat too, so like.
And he's a robot, so he's perfectly still, not making any fucking noise.
The four of us are in the same little bunks, and you're the only one that sees or hears it or senses it.
It's terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Given the GM ideas, I love it.
So the big plan was to drop something as we're a couple of hours out that would go off on a time delay at the exact time we want the ship to surface. And we're going to be meticulous with our swimming and collecting and breaching, or not breaching, but surfacing with our lift bags. And as the lift bags get up and we search and make sure it's okay, the ship is going to show up as a huge ultrasonic distraction happens an hour away.
What? I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
Yeah, I think we completely missed that last part as far as him knowing what we were doing.
Started with a great idea from Hylar to have a distraction. So as we're an hour out now, we want to release a like on a delay. They have those sonic grenades.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm going to use the subsonic distractor thingy on a timer delay, and we're going to set it for like 4.5, 5 hours. And then we're going to drop it in the ocean so that it creates a decoy 5 hours from now when hopefully we've put everything in bags and then float it to the surface so that we can get it with the crane in the storage or cargo compartment.
Okay, so we're talking about the Sonic Blaster acoustic jammer.
Yep.
Let me reread this. What it is: a handheld directional sound cannon. Overclocking the transducer causes a screeching, high-intensity cone of sonic feedback. Please describe to me the device you're planning on making as a decoy.
Well, it's going to make noise is what I need the decoy to do. So maybe not the subsonic one, but an crazy loud one. I'm going to have to take a speaker from the galley's loudspeaker, and sorry, Captain, but unscrewing that, I'm going to attach a massive battery pack to it, and then... Oh, Marcus, you still have that MP3 player?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm going to wire the MP3 player to play The Soothing Noises of Submarines, Volume 2, at the highest decibel level that I can possibly make.
Okay. As you're flipping through the library of music, there's an interesting new video file in there.
I'm going to click on it.
Ronan, what does Hylar see when he plays this video? You should describe it.
Does Hyler just play on the video? I've let everybody else know that I was handing it to him, so like Bralix and Garrett are standing around as Hyler pushes play on this video. And you see the camera that's directly at Hylar's face as the drop commences and he gets shot out of the ship, and he starts doing his little meowing, whining, and like kind of trying to get out of his little capsule. And as he goes and he's watching things through the little viewport, and he sees what limited information he has, continuing to, you just see his face of sheer terror, and it's not crying, but it's not whining, and it's this little like he looks like a little scared kitten, whimpering and then getting angry and lashing out and then whimpering again. Yeah,
Trying to claw his way out of the pod. It's familiar in that you were there, Hylar.
Yeah, I'm watching. I don't say anything. I look up at everybody looking at me and waiting for a reaction, and then I set my jaw, and I set that audio to be what is on the decoy. And then I look up and I'm like, that's gonna confuse the shit out of them, isn't it? They're gonna think some fucking dying thing is over here.
It's a catfish.
It's pretty good. It's a catfish. We're gonna catfish them.
Okay.
Do you need one last mechanics roll for this loudspeaker mechanic thingy that I just tried to put together?
This mechanic thingy is officially now called the catfish decoy, and no, I'm going to give it to you.
Fantastic.
So you set this thing on a timer, an hour out.
Well, the timer's for 5 hours, but yes, it's an hour away from us logistically.
Okay, it's set for 5 hours, and it takes you an hour to get there, so you have 4 hours to dive on the shipwreck.
That's the plan.
Okay.
A lot of time. That's not a lot of time at all.
Okay, do you want me to... I'll add to it. Tell me what you guys want.
It doesn't give us any time to go back for a second run or anything like that, but it also it removes the ability for us to get in and get out quietly. One way or the other, they're going to know something happened here, which I'm not opposed to. Let's do 6 hours of time on station, so 7 hours on your timer.
That's fair. How much air do we have?
Tanks are usually 6 hours.
So we have 12?
Per person per run, but there's dozens of tanks if you wanted to take more. Of course, every tank is weight.
Yep. I think we planned for 6. Like, we're not required to get anything out of there, so anything we're getting out of there is, I don't want to say free shit, but yeah, I don't think we need to try to empty the thing out or anything like that. We get down, we see if there's anything valuable, we get out, and we get moving, because we still have an actual mission to complete. And anything we do get counter-detected or anything like that, that's got to make us worse off for whatever our real mission is with Jill. So I think 6 hours on station allows us to get in and get out and make some sort of gain without endangering everybody.
Okay, I agree. I'll set it for 7 hours for 6 hours on station. And then when we're an hour away, we'll have to bloop that off the conning tower.
Okay. You guys do all of that. You are now approaching the wreck site, close enough that sonar has it as a pretty distinct image, and you can tell that the ship broke in half, either on the surface or on the ground. The two halves are far enough apart that it might have broken apart on the surface, but it's also close enough together to be kind of one contiguous unit, so could have gone either way. Either way, there's a distinctive image of a wreck sitting on the edge of the coastal shelf in front of you.
Yes.
And I think we're ready if you guys want to move your tokens.
You guys ready?
You guys are going to come out the conning tower while it's underwater, or you're going to come out of the conning tower on the surface?
What are the depths that we're talking about here?
So this wreck's shelf is a little less than 100 meters down, where it is on the bottom. You guys are probably only at about 75 to 50 meters where you're at now. And your suits are rated to, I think it's 200 or 300 meters. So you've got plenty of give for your current setup. And just remember that this is traveler sci-fi numbers. I had to look these up because if any of you've done real scuba diving, you would know that 100 meters is way deeper than you can go. Like it's
more than
I'm not gonna say anything.
it's just really deep. But I'm going by the book. I was mainly for Ronan's benefit because I knew he was like 100 meters is really fucking deep.
Yeah, 300 feet is way down.
Yeah, like also
Do
there's
this.
there's gonna be light down there. Don't give me shit for that. So, okay, so you guys are coming out the top, but underwater. Is that what I?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure why you were asking that question. Okay, let me click a few buttons here. First, we're gonna click this button. Then we're going to. It worked. Okay. This mission is divided into zones that you will explore as you go along. Obviously, this is the immediate part right here. I hope you guys enjoyed all the animated things I've added. I'm really having fun with that.
That's really cool.
Kizik, you're really enjoying that animation? O-Dubs, you're really enjoying that animation?
Yeah.
Really cool.
That shark's tail shouldn't be going up and down like that.
Everybody's a critic.
Wow, the big screen's pretty awesome too, with the fish swimming by, with the sandy bottom.
Yeah, I just wanted to set the tone. So,
Light made it a meter, 100 meters down.
yeah.
That's some really clear water.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I mean, Traveler Planet. It's not Earth.
That's what we're going with. So, you guys start swimming towards the wreck. You guys had the boat parked pretty far out for safety purposes. So it's a significant amount of swim to get to this point, but it's not any type of extra challenge. So I'm gonna borrow a bit from my Edge of the Empire days, where I'm gonna say you guys don't really have any specific scuba skills, but it's kind of like driving a car, where if you're not having to do anything special, you're assumed to have the basic skill. If there's any type of non-standard thing, like your tanks start running low, or you got to do a maneuver or get into a tight space, which let's just face it, that's going to happen, then you'll get individual checks to do those things. But I'm not going to have you roll just to swim down here. Just keep in mind that you know, anytime you start talking about doing things, we're going to have related checks. So
Sorry, I just had a quick question. I apologize. The tanks, how long do they last again? I heard Marcus say one thing. I just wanted to make sure that was the legitimate number we were rolling with.
Yep, you guys are planning on 6 hours for your tanks, which I think sounds perfectly reasonable. Technically, it depends on the capacity of the tanks, but that's a completely reasonable number.
I just wanted to make sure I had the right number down.
And you guys can always go back to the boat and refill. You have that capability. Okay. How would you like to start?
I think we got a couple options. We go to the cargo space or we go to the bridge.
We're trying to get cargo space, so I vote cargo space.
I'll second cargo.
All right.
I thought the whole point was to send this drone that Brelix has to figure things out. We can go one place and the drone can check out another place. Like, there's no reason to not do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I need to be stationary while I drive this drone.
Oh, well then, why don't you send it ahead and make sure that we don't get our fucking, I don't know, exploded or something.
Yeah, I'll sit down on the floor here for a second.
The only reason I bring up the bridge is it is a Unity vessel, and it may have useful information. Because although I love the get rich quick thing that we're doing here to get cool toys, that's awesome. But we could also help out the Resistance by gathering intel from a Unity ship.
Yeah, no, that's Calico would like that if I did that. That'd be cool. And maybe forgive me for being gone this whole time.
She's gone too.
So Braillix, which place are we going to send the drone?
To the hall, to the bridge.
I have a question, Braillix. How are you controlling this drone?
I've got my FPV thing. I put that inside my little goggles. It's already like mildly water resistant because I need water. And
So your
I'm
drone controller is kind of like a handheld thing. You've synced it to your implants. Is that what I'm hearing?
yes.
Okay, but don't you normally still have to hold it in your hands?
Yeah, it's I like a set of goggles you put on top of it. I'm going to sit on the bottom of the ocean and use the little. Oh, I guess that's not as watertight as 100 meters depth is not water resistant like I thought of.
This is also salt water. So in my mind, there's two ways you could do this. The ghetto way is to get a couple of Ziploc bags and just hope for the best. And if you seal it right, it probably would be okay at scuba diving depths. Or you could try a really technical solution and try to use your implants to interface with this thing.
I really like the idea of trying something brand new for the first time ever underneath of the sea in a not scary environment. I would like to try to use my implants to control this thing.
Okay, I need two rolls from you. The first is a luck roll, and the second one is a computers, electronic comms. So it's not computers, it's electronics comms roll.
Luck was an 11.
Okay.
Electronics comms was a 6, 7, 8 plus 2 plus 1 for a 11 as well.
Okay. Later on, I may ask you for a random roll. Rather than me ask you in that moment and potentially tip you off to something, can you just roll a d6 for me right now? Sorry, 2 d6s. My bad. Oh, you almost boxcard that.
9.
It's still a really good roll. Okay, thank you. You have complete control of this drone. You may maneuver it around. This is one of the basketball-sized maintenance drones.
Yes.
Okay, so this thing is a size 2 aquatic drone with thruster, locomotion, and small manipulators. It's got a dex and strength of -1, and a intellect and recon of +1 each. But you could also look through the camera and use your own stats for just looking at things. Where would you like to go with it first?
The bridge is in the back of the boat.
That is true. The bridge is over here. Okay. Now, the bridge has a couple of interesting things. First off, it's fully intact, and the doors are shut. You can look in the front windows, and you can see that there are no bodies inside the bridge that you can see. It is flooded, so water was able to get in. And beyond that, like it's not got a big hole in it, so you can't just fly into it. Unlike the cargo bay, which has a big gaping hole, and you can just fly in, swim in.
I'm gonna turn back to everybody, and I'm going. Oh, we're underwater. I'm going to. Oh man, I'm going to try to think into their thoughts. This is the first time I've ever done this too, right?
You're gonna try to use your neurocomms to talk to them.
Yeah, and just say that the doors are closed, and I'm going to go to the cargo bay, and hopefully there's a big hole in that.
Electronics communications.
That's 11.
Okay. You're going to be able to do this. To everyone else, because everybody here technically has neural comms. They're going to hear it as though it came in through the earpiece. They're not necessarily going to know you're using neural comms unless they're really paying attention. And each of you can decide without a roll or anything whether or not you pick up that this is coming in slightly differently through your implants.
I don't like this at all.
What do you actually say, Brelix?
The bridge is closed but flooded. There's a big hole in the cargo bay. I'm gonna go check that out.
Okay.
Are you all right? Like this sounds weird.
I might not have needed to do all of that. Can I just talk and in these dive suits it goes to their comms?
So dive suits do come with options for masks where you can speak. We didn't specify whether or not we had one. We had a conversation about transceivers last time, and you guys bought transceivers. So since you took the effort to buy transceivers, which made the GM very happy, I was going to give you underwater transceiver communication at very short range. But you can do it either way.
Brelix hears everybody else just talking back and kind of looks up, and then just starts speaking back to them. Drive to drone. The drone was there. It's going to be harder to get into the bridge than there's not a big hole in that.
I mean, I feel like we brought stuff for that, didn't we?
Yeah, 100%. We carried a lot of things over to do that. Do we want to split? No, we don't want to split. We want everybody to go. Let's get a load of stuff from the cargo bay, and then we'll go tackle the bridge together.
We don't even know what the cargo... Your drone needs to get to the cargo bay. Tell us what's in there.
Cool, I'm on the way. Sorry. Talking and driving it's difficult.
You fly
Did a set of us want to go start cutting into the bridge while he's investigating the cargo hold?
I was trying to be sneaky. I don't know how sneakily you can use a improvised torch to cut through a hole.
It's a safe bet that once we start cutting, if there's anybody, it's a big if. Like, if there's anybody listening, they'll know.
So let's see what's in the cargo bay first.
Driving a drone.
Okay. So you drive a drone towards the massive hole in the side of the boat where the boat has basically snapped in half and there's just broken bits of things. The first area you encounter as you get closer, there is a green goop all over the bottom of what's left of the wreckage. And this is a mix of seafloor and wreckage down at the bottom of this thing. So this area is kind of like here in the middle. Bits and pieces come up the middle. You guys can see this area over here all right?
Yes.
Just making sure. All right, so these bits are very jagged, sharp pieces of metal that are up in here. This algae at the bottom, as you get a closer look on it, has latched onto the hull, and it is, from the description, you have never encountered it yourself, but you guys have done plenty of research that you know what it looks like. This is the corrosive algae that eats through the metal, that barnacle side stuff that you have is actually meant for melting this stuff away. And this is kind of a menace of the ocean out here in this ocean. And it is currently eating through the metal, and as it eats through this metal, just like a icicle or a stalactite, it's making all of these jagged pieces of metal even more jagged and like acid tip sharp through this area.
Brelix describes all of this as he's driving this drone.
Does any of that look like there's something in there? Or is it an area we should just avoid? Like, is there
there's
stuff?
there's an access to go aft and an access to go forward. There are doors that you'd have to go through for each of those.
Oh, are those doors open?
Give me a luck roll.
That's an 11.
Okay. With an 11, we'll say the door that goes aft is slightly ajar, and the door that goes forward is closed.
I can see that the door going aft is slightly open. I've got little manipulator arms. I might be able to push it open.
Alex, is that door a pressure boundary door, or is it like just a normal door?
It is a bulkhead door.
It is a bulkhead door. Got it.
You want to try to push the rest of the way open and send the drone in there?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, you're going to be entering a confined space. So out here, because of the way the ship broke up, you're kind of like still seeing sunlight. If you look hard enough from where you guys have rested, you can still see the drone swimming around in front of you. But when it goes to this door, you are inside. And you come into, although the cargo has been strewn, like it's actually pretty neatly organized in here. I didn't think to mess it up the way I should have. The cargo's strewn all over the place, but this is a intact cargo bay where the cargo has been jostled around. There's also a ladder well that goes up into where the bridge would go and down to the bows of the ship beneath this.
I found a cargo bay. I think we might need to go past the big scary green algae slime stuff.
Hold on 1 second. I didn't think of how this would affect a robot. Look something up. There is a loud screeching noise that all the party members can hear coming from inside the cargo bay, and the drone's feed just cuts. It agitates the sharks around you significantly, and they start like doom swarm, like they start frenzying. That's the word. One of them gets nicked, and because they are sharks, the one that gets nicked in the frenzy, it basically gets cannibal eaten by the rest of the sharks and just ripped to shreds as you guys watch this incredibly graphic scene. And what do you guys do during that?
There goes first. I mean,
Garrett
Lost
goes
the drone.
first.
no notes goes.
Potato's not it. Garrett, I guess you're gonna go. Let's follow you, man.
All right, well, I am going to get away from the sharks. First of all, like kind of moving my head around like with that sound that I heard, and my gosh, these sharks are everywhere, and I am going to instinctively kind of move away from the sharks a bit to kind of make sure that they are not going to come after me after they're done cannibalizing the previous shark.
Okay. So that was the main question I wanted to ask, was who was going to try to swim away? Odebs, go ahead and give me an athletics roll. It can be strength, which I know is your strong one.
9.
Okay. So you start swimming, and the moment you start swimming, all the sharks home in on you. You now seem like a wounded animal. You realize that moving was probably a huge mistake, but you've done it now. So you start swimming with all your might towards the wreckage. One of the big towers that holds up lines and equipment on the cargo bay is made like a cage, and you swim as hard as you can for it, and you get just inside of it, and the sharks bang up against the outside. They can't get through. You're sort of in a makeshift shark cage now inside of this thing. Seeing this, the rest of the party stops and holds still. You are now in this cage, and the rest of the party is sitting about 20, 25 feet away. As long as they don't move, it's kind of like the T-Rex scene from Jurassic Park. The sharks don't seem to be affected by you, and they are still frenzying, and they have almost completely eaten this one other shark.
How many sharks were there again?
Yes, I didn't say a number.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna load the spear gun very slowly.
It wasn't already loaded? It's a spear gun.
I'm gonna check to make sure the spear gun is loaded very slowly.
All right.
Are we drifting?
You guys are drifting a little bit with the tide. Like if you're not doing any swimming to maintain your position, like not very quickly, but you ever so slightly are moving with the tide. And because you guys were like kind of guarding Braylix, my envisioning is that you guys are like almost within arm's reach of each other.
Yes.
So what's the... It can't be Thodubs because he already had his moment. What are the other three of you gonna do? Hylar's checking his spear gun. Give me a stealth check for that.
All right. That's fair. I can do that.
If you pass it, I'll give you a bonus if you have to use it.
My dice suck. It was great when I was Kizik's dice. Now I got stupid dice. My dice rolled a 3.
I don't think Cosmo and Wanda love you anymore.
I know, they suck. And then my dex is also 1. So it's still a 5, but that's bullshit.
Okay, well, the good news is a 5 isn't enough to get you guys all eaten. The bad news is that you are not able to check it because you start pulling it out and a shark immediately turns like, that's a bad idea.
Yep, I'm gonna freeze. And like you said, it's kind of like Jurassic Park, so I'm just gonna breathe in and breathe out on my tank.
Mm-hmm. It's
block sight for Brelix.
It's even worse because you can't see the puddles of water when he does the stompy thing underwater because you're already underwater. Okay, Marcus and Braylix.
I'm going to... Which way is the current taking us?
In this direction. Can you see this flag I'm putting up?
So I'm going to ever so slowly from where I'm at push against the current, but with the current, and over to like this corner of the ship and try to just
grab on.
Make it look like I'm drifting over here to grab onto the ship.
I have a critical question. Are you going to grab Braylix and pull him with you?
Yes.
Okay. Braylix, are you going to consent to this?
Yes. Braylix has a tail that can be an algae bloom. He's kind of comfortable underwater.
You have a tail that can be an algae bloom.
What the hell? What?
How are words formed in your brain?
Algae is not the right thing. I was going for kelp. Kelp and algae are both green. We're at the bottom of an ocean with magical light that's 100 meters down. I assume there's some kind of sea anemones or algae or coral that has a cool tail-like shape that I can pretend to be camouflaged.
Give me a combined dex check for Braylix and Marcus. So both of you roll it and we'll average your answers.
Scars!
I see that.
There is an algae tail.
And neat.
Okay, you guys are... I mean, I've never heard of an aquatic goat, but you might as well be one. However, Kizik is aquatic, and now that I'm thinking about it, your character might get bonuses to swimming on top of boxcars. Don't know for sure, but I know that Bwop are aquatic. So you guys, you safely get over here. Now, at this point, unless the players want to argue, I'm going to assume that you're like, let's just chill here until the sharks are done doing the thing.
Concur with chilling.
I like to chill.
Okay. So you guys watch this frenzy happen. Whatever sonic thing just happened, and it hurt you guys' ears too, by the way. Like, hearing underwater is a weird experience, but like your eardrums are throbbing. You can't imagine how bad it would have hurt had you been in that room when whatever it was happened. And eventually the sharks stop, going on their frenzy, and the ones that are left go back to like it's a irritated swimming pattern, but it's a normal enough that you don't feel like you're going to just get eaten.
All right. I'm going to try to get Garrett out of the cage.
Okay. So you swim over to Garrett. He can probably wiggle his way in and out using a dex check. Because he got in there. So, he could get out. Or you can just start cutting it away if you want to. Now, it's part of a wreck. So every time you cut, you guys need to be careful.
Yeah, no, I don't want to cut anything. I just wanted to make sure his tank clears lattice stuff and get him out of there, extricate him.
Okay.
Just going to help me wiggle out.
Yep. I'm not going to make you actually roll for it if that's what you're doing. You're able to help him get on out of there. Yeah. So what do you guys have to say about that?
It was terrifying.
That was fun.
Do you guys have the ringing in your ears? I don't know if it's ringing because we're underwater. So it's like thonking.
What was that? I mean, it looked like it took out your drone, and it was loud as hell.
Actually, the only person who'd know the drone is taken out would be Brelix.
Well, he's not steering it anymore. He just got up.
I thought I called out that I lost connection to the drone.
Oh,
but yeah, my drone is down. I went into the room. There's cargo everywhere. I was spinning around, and then I heard the weird sound.
Okay, so you want to try to clean up the goop? We got these goop cleaner grenades, right, Marcus?
I think they're sprayers.
Yeah, spray guns, double mute. Yeah, that's one thing we can do.
And then we can go check out that cargo hold. Maybe sneak up in there.
Just so we're all tracking. There's bad guys at play here, or there's bad something at play here. And by bad, I mean something that doesn't like us, but of note, it also probably knows that we're here because drones don't just do things on their own. But yes, let's go clean stuff up so we can
sneak into a doorway and check it for traps.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
okay. So this green algae is creating, on top of the very razor sharp pieces of metal that's protruding up from this stuff, it's like a green mist that comes from the algae at the bottom, and it comes up like maybe 5 or 10 meters from the top. How do you want to do this? I guess is the best way to ask it. Just open-ended question. How do you guys want to do this?
I'd like to come in on the side to the best of the ability at the deck level. Kind of spray the stuff in and see if the stuff above it just dissipates in the current, or if that doesn't work, then come around on top and spray down and see if it clears it on its way down.
Okay. I'm going to say
As your doctor, I'll be monitoring you closely.
each of the each of the kilogram containers, I'm going to say, gives you 10 bursts of this stuff. How many bursts do you want to use in this little experiment?
Just 2 at the bottom, and then see what happens.
Okay. So 2 at the deck level, which is kind of buried in silt and sand with this algae in it. You come up to the edge of the bloom and you just kind of burst 2 in. The mist immediately is cleared when the thing hits, and you notice that the gunk that it sprays, first off, stuff comes out of the nozzle is fluorescent orange. And as it comes in contact with the more and more of the stuff, it just sort of loses its color and dissipates, but it also seems to kill all of the algae that it touches. It also is heavier than water, so it sinks down to the bottom. And your second burst has enough left over that it actually hits the deck plating where the algae is growing, and you see the algae just immediately peeling back as though it's a piece of paper that's on fire.
That's pretty cool.
Is it heated? Do we
No,
is it hot?
It's corrosive. But it doesn't seem when it's just in water and it hasn't hit the green stuff yet, it doesn't react at all, but it bubbles as though it's hot or corrosive or hitting something the second that it hits the algae.
But in the end, between the algae and it, when it's done it as much work as it can, it's what's the word I'm looking for?
It looks danger. It looks burny. Like you wouldn't want to touch it.
So still dangerous, even though it's the algae dead.
Yeah, but it's very effective against the algae. It's almost like it's exactly what it was made to do.
But it gets rid of the misty stuff.
Mm-hmm. It clears the mist and it clears the algae. The mist seems to be the way the algae reproduces. Like you notice that it started on the bottom of the deck, and the mist has it's clung like sea snot to the metal pieces above it and started to eat through and dissolves it. And as it eats more metal, there's more of it being produced.
Start spraying and moving my way to the doors and making a nice big clear space.
Okay.
And moving slowly to not stab myself or rip my suit or anything like that.
That's actually going to be the hard part. So anyone going in here, between the corrosive algae, the corrosive chemicals you're using on the algae, and the razor sharp bits of metal, I'm going to need an athletics dexterity. And only 2 of you have sprayers, so...
Here we go. Seven.
Okay. That's a 7 for Marcus. Ghost, are you going in, or are you just watching?
Who was I the one with the sprayer?
I thought you were the only other person with a sprayer.
Yep, then I'm going in. I'm not going to hand it off to Garrett. Oh, that's a pretty good roll. Okay, dice say a 10, and my dexterity is a +1, so 11.
Okay. With an 11, one of 2 things can happen here, but I'm not actually going to let you decide on it because it really affects his Ronan. Ronan, you notice that you are being pulled by the current, and there doesn't seem to be much you can do, and you're headed straight for one of the sharp, spiky bits that's tipped with this acidic stuff. would you like to push your roll, or you can get an assist from Ghost because of his awesome roll? If you manage to fix it yourself, you're double muted again, by the way. Ghost will have enough leftover effect to get all the way to the door.
Let's do it. Pushing it.
Okay.
Because what could go wrong?
Push the roll. Push the roll.
I'm a big fan of pushing rolls these days.
Yeah. That's a 9.
Hell yeah. So you guys managed to clear a path clean through this thing, and each of you use up one of your containers. So you both have one container left. And you've got a path that basically, let me just, I'm going to do what you guys do. I'm going to draw. Ooh, I'm not going to draw. Drawing's a bad idea because this thing is, bubbly. It's bubbly. I'm going to do this. This. Yeah. No, fuck you. You're going to do what I want, whether you want to or not. There we go. Now look, widget tool. Did you just lock up the whole thing? Is my whole computer locked up? Yeah, it is. There we go. That widget tool did not want to cooperate. So it kind of goes through like this, in this general direction, and continues on to the door. And the other players can now basically just swim through this corridor. Everyone who passes through this area will still need to make a dex check, but you only need a 6 to pass because the only thing you have to worry about are the jagged edges. And staying on the path. So that's for O-Dubs and Kizik.
Ready for that door? Swimming. Whew, got a 9.
Did you look up to see if your WAP is aquatic and gets a bonus to that?
I did. It says they're aquatic, but that just means that it doesn't say they get bonuses to swimming.
Okay. Alrighty. You guys make it into the room, and you made it in a very few... Let's move your tokens over here. So you made it in very few little things. So everyone who enters, give me a recon check. Oh, we didn't do Garrett. Garrett, what was your roll? That's a 3.
Yeah, a 3.
Okay. What's your
Modifiers for dexterity still a 0, so 3.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. It's an 8 to pass means it's not a critical fail because it's 1 point off of that. So it's only this. Oh, that is the best you could roll. So out of a d6 of damage, you get a 1. That's AP 10 though, so it's going to go through your suit. So you take 1 to your endurance.
Gotcha. Done.
Okay. Everyone who enters the cargo bay. I have to roll one other thing. Garrett is going to make it in there no matter what, so go ahead and do this roll. Everyone roll a recon check as you get into the cargo bay.
Got an 8.
5.
9.
Six.
All right, so I heard a 9 and an 8. I think that was Ronan and Kizik.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Kizik would have gotten a bonus to see it because the drone almost saw it. At the very top, so there's a stairwell going up. There's a ladder going up and a ladder going down, and next to it is what looks almost like a smoke detector with a little motion sensor on it. And it's not a standard piece of equipment, and it's got a very similar look to the sonic devices that you guys made for the decoy. and it's got an obvious motion sensor on it. But what also is important is that it's got a set of LEDs on it. There's 6 LEDs in a string, and 2 of those LEDs are lit, and a third one lights up while you're watching it. And you realize it's still got power. The rest of the ship obviously does not.
We need to take that out immediately.
Do we see any cabling or anything coming out of it?
Nope, just looks like a smoke detector. Smoke detector with a speaker.
And we're like, how far away?
5-10 meters. 4th lights up.
Shoot it. Cut it.
I'm gonna shoot it with a spear gun.
Okay. Give me, I think it's a slug check for the spear gun.
I'll do that. Okay. I got an 8.
That's a hit. You want to roll your damage?
Yes, I do. Spear gun. You guys ready for this? I don't know if anybody else looked it up. 3D damage.
Oh, it's impossible for you to roll low enough not to destroy this thing. Go ahead and roll it anyway. It's got 2 hit points.
Huzzah! I've done 7 damage to it.
You pierce this thing quite thoroughly. Roll me a luck roll.
Oh, sorry, Ronan.
Oh, no worries. Dice work better for you than me.
If you get an 8 or higher, you can recover your spear.
Oh, sorry, I got a 10 and I'll recover my spear. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay. So, you are now in this room. You have disabled the sentry device that was in the room.
Get my spear back. All right, guys. You guys want to start looking around?
Yeah. Keep your head out for any more things that clearly had power somehow.
Yeah. Could be battery backup or something.
Go take a look at it and see if I can figure out. Yeah, kind of recon the thing and see if I can figure out where it was getting power from.
Oh, I won't make you roll for that. It's battery powered. It was put up on that bulkhead. Like it was glued to it. I guess technically it's called an overhead in a compartment like this.
Is my drone okay?
Your drone is broken.
It's not my drone, but
I mean, it's repairable, but it's not functioning right now. The sensory systems are all like messed up. The delicate sensory bits are all smashed up.
Your shit's fucked, dude.
But that would have happened to your ears had you been in the room.
it's okay. I'm just a little bit sad.
How much time has elapsed?
I've only been down here for like 10 minutes.
You've only been at the wreck for 10 minutes, including the swim over. You've been down here for 50 minutes.
Oh, almost an hour.
Yeah, because you had to remember you said you went to park pretty far out.
True. All right, let's dive in. What's in this place?
There's a lot of cargo in here. Who wants to open what?
I like to open these over here.
I realize you're underwater, so this is going to be a pretty difficult proposition. Okay, so those kind of pack crates are things that you've seen before, and they generally hold textiles. Popping the first one open, they're full of silks and stuff like that, which are now probably ruined. because you've popped the seal on the crate.
Okay, great.
Kizik.
I pick one of these crates.
Okay. So they are industrial sized crates, and they are for holding big, heavy metal objects. And you pop the latches on them and pull them open, and they are in fact full of iron rebar.
Well, that's not the fancy space metal we're looking for.
Indeed not. Marcus.
And I sneakily poke my head up the ladder.
Sure. You swim over to the ladder way. You're going up, you said?
Yep, towards the bridge.
Okay. And it leads into the corner of the bridge. Hey, look around. You can't really see the back rooms behind the bridge, but you can see the front part of the bridge.
Sweet.
And Hylar.
Well, I'm next to these crates, so I'm going to check these out, I guess.
Pick one. Okay. You hit a button, and a hydraulic set of arms opens up and reveals the inside of the crates.
Bango, bango. All right. So I'm going to start sliding this crate towards the hole
Okay.
so that we can hit it with a ballast bag.
You going to reseal it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's going to be a athletic strength check because you're underwater, and then everything underwater like this is kind of hard. You gonna tell everyone else what you found?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a 6. Yes, I will. I said bingo, bango.
Yeah, because
I found-
everybody knows what that means.
Bingo, bango. I found the stuff that we were looking for. The cool-looking metals and things like that.
Excellent.
And
What
as I'm
kinda
like,
crate does it look? Oh, you're struggling with that.
yeah, I'm sliding it over. I'm trying to move it because it's heavy. Nobody help me or anything. That's fine.
You can't use your claws with your swimming gear. Use your fins.
Not with that attitude.
Everything is a nail. Once I get it over, my plan is to go back and check these other ones.
Okay.
But I'll get this one out first.
Who's helping do what? Because Marcus is he's half in the bridge.
I'll go and help Hylar with the containers.
I will look around and follow Marcus up towards the bridge.
Marcus, are you gonna do more than poke your head up there?
I'm going to look around to see if I see any more of these defensive sound ear melty thingies.
Okay, give me a recon check, please. And Thodubs, you can give me a strength check. Thodubs, you're also the guy with the lift bags.
This is true. Strength check 8.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough to push it out the door. It's a survival check to attach the lift bag. You said it's an 8 for your recon, Rex?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You look around that bridge, you do not see any more of these things in any obvious spot that you can look at.
Hey, Relics, I'm gonna head up and take a look around and give me a second and I will let you know if it's clear. And we can start taking a look at logs and intel and see if we can find some stuff.
Okay.
Slowly make my way up to the bridge.
Okay.
Start.
You're in the bridge, completely underwater. Still no power up here, but there's definitely some consoles and stuff like that that's up here. You would immediately notice that a couple of the consoles have emergency lights on them, but for the most part, the ship does not have power. There's also data wafers and physical pieces like sheafs of paper and stuff laying around. So there's stuff floating in here that could potentially give you the intelligence you're looking for. There's also 2 doors in the back of the bridge. And from the size of the ship, you're betting that that's probably either that's where the crew quarters are or the crew quarters are in the bow of the ship.
Hey, Brelix, you should be good to come up here. There's a bunch of data waivers and stuff we should probably grab. And any paper that isn't completely and totally ruined in salt water. Maybe we can find some useful data on that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll grab that real quick and get back down to helping the other guys. I'm gonna see if these doors are open, and because they're either the crew or the captain's quarters, and maybe something like we can find in there.
Okay. Relix, you can do a search check of your own. Hylar and Garrett, you can pick another crate. Oh, sorry. Hylar can pick another crate. I think Garrett needs to do a survival check, or maybe Hylar wants to do a survival check. Sorry, I shouldn't assume rolls. You need a survival check to lift the one cargo crate that you've moved out here.
Okay. I'll go ahead and take the roll. That's fine. And that's attaching it to the lift bags, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't hit the lift bag yet.
You still need to attach them, though.
Sure, I get that, but don't hit it. Don't activate it.
Nope, copy that. I'm just going to attach it for now.
Hylar, you want to pick another crate?
Yes I do. Let's try one of these other ones, like this one here.
Yeah. Quick peek.
A 6 on survival.
Bingo, bango. This one's got cobalt and metal ingots in it, and jet. I remember the cobalt being one of the things that the lady with the axes, she wanted. Did she want the metal ingots too? Can anybody remember?
I don't remember if it was the metal ingots or not.
If not, I'm sure anything that we give to the resistance will be useful.
Just take the whole crate.
Is it the spectral iron stuff, or is it just metal ingots?
It's just metal ingots.
Grab them, be a good time.
Relix, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Okay, you rolled a 6, and Thodubs rolled a 6.
No bingo bangos for me.
Yes.
Okay, Hylar, you get back out here to get Garrett to help you push this crate, and he has the lift bag fitted, but it's very loose. Like there's absolutely slack in these lines.
Like every great electrician and rigger, I know that you need to check it yourself or someone can die. So I look at Garrett disappointedly. Look, man, we need to figure out how much these crates weigh before we attach all those things anyway, because you said one bag could do 425 kilos, right?
Yeah, on the middle.
All right, that's a lot of weight. We should see, or at least guess, how much one of these crates full of metal is. And you attached this kind of sideways.
Yeah, I might need your help pulling on that other side over there. That'll probably help stiffen it up.
All right. Let's do this. What do these crates weigh? Can we figure that out?
It depends on what's in them. So I'll need.
They're not marked though, because they were being shipped.
They were marked with electronic tags, and those tablets that are on the side are completely cooked.
Gotcha.
Now I will. You're well enough at this to kind of figure some stuff out. Each of the crates you currently have are going to be right at 400-ish. Like they're on the line for being.
So 400 each is what you're saying.
Yes, I said each of them. So it's going to be right on the line of the capacity for the lift bags.
So 1 bag per one of these so far.
So far, yes. It doesn't leave you
We
a
have
ton
5
of
bags.
margin. Yeah, you have 5 bags. Now, let me get on to Braillix before I forget, because I've almost forgotten. Braillix, there are a bunch of data wafers. They are not labeled in any discernible way. The paper that is not laminated is more or less worthless. Like, you try to grab it and it just breaks apart. It's been sitting in salt water for weeks, if not months, and it's basically dissolved. The laminated paper are mostly instruction manuals on how to use the consoles, kind of like in your submarine. But there are some data wafers. You roll 1d6. You can get that many data wafers. You don't know what's on them.
6.
Okay, also... Oh, wait, you already rolled that earlier. That random roll I had you roll earlier was a 9, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Marcus, what do you want to do? You were going to go check out one of these rooms.
Yep. Since I don't know what's behind them and I don't care. Even's the one on the right, odd's the one on the left. Looking aft. Guess I'm going to the one on the left, this one.
Okay. You open the door, it opens. This room is a mess as you are on a tilt, which, by the way, yes, because you're in the back half of this boat, I forgot to mention, you all are on a tilt towards the ground. This floor is not even. But luckily nothing propped up against the door, so you're able to just open this, and this is obviously the crew quarters. Once again, there are no bodies in here.
Interesting. No signs of blood, gore, or anything like that.
Roll me perception.
Perception is intellect, isn't it?
Perception is intellect recon.
Alrighty. +1, -1 for a 10.
Okay. There is a torn jumpsuit of a crewman that is half. It's like it's part of it is pinned underneath one of these bunks, and it's ripped. It's ripped in such a way that you could deduce by looking at it that someone was pinned under one of these bunks and bleeding heavily into their suit, and they were pulled out of the suit as they were extricated, and the jumpsuit was just left behind, and it's bloody. So there was some sort of injury and then recovery action here.
Hey, guys, just so we're aware, like, there was something happened here. Like, we haven't found a crew yet, but we do have evidence of some sort of post-wreck actions. So just keep your eyes peeled. I'm gonna come back out to,
Oh, you rolled above a 10, right? You rolled a 10. I'm still going to give it to you. On your way back out, you will notice that in this room, there are sets of emergency oxygen life preserver, except basically emergency, the ship is sinking racks, and they're all empty.
yeah, guys, it also looks like the potentially a break for emergency life rafts and whatnot to get out of here. So, still, let's keep our eyes peeled. Then, hey, Brelix, did you take a look at those 2 consoles that had the blinky lights?
No, I found a bunch of little tiny data wafers as they're floating through the air. I also looked at all the papers. I can Can I look for the actual computer that's has power displayed to this?
I'm struggling again. By what you mean? There is no power, except for there are a couple of on these side consoles. They look like they have an LED light that is like an emergency power source, probably local, specific to it. There's not
a computer that's feeding those things.
No.
Sorry.
There is a single like LED light.
Does it have a word beside it?
No.
All right then. There's a bunch of lights over here. I don't know what they mean.
You want to try to power on the console?
Yeah. There's a power button. Looks like a circle, right?
Okay. So you go up to these side consoles that's got a random LED light that implies it might have power. And you push the power button. Immediately it starts to whirl, and like basically it's now it started up its cooling fans, pushing water through its console. But it does start to do its equivalent of post. I'm gonna need a computer's check from you.
That's a 11. 8 plus 3.
Okay. You have 30 seconds worth of command line time to try to get information out of this thing. In 30 seconds, what do you put in here to get out?
I want like a encryption key for communications. I want a like the last or the top 15 places
Last ports
this
of
place
call.
went. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Okay. So roll a computer's check. Sorry, I already had you do one of those. That's how I got the 3.
The computer's check is a 9.
Yeah, I don't actually need the second one. I'm sorry. That was my bad. You get 30 seconds worth, and that's probably all you're going to get from that. There are no encryption keys to be had on this thing, and you would have needed to give a little bit more specific of a directory. However, asking for the last 10 ports of call or navigation points, it absolutely will spit out a data wafer with its navigation logs that you can get. I'm just gonna go ahead.
I feel pretty good as I pull that data wafer out and I watch it like slowly die to saltwater exposure.
All right, Hylar, what do you got going on down there?
Gonna try to keep moving crates, I guess.
I'm not very smart, but I can lift heavy things.
Well, that's underestimating. So which one do you pick this time?
This one.
Pop it open. Have a quick peek inside.
Void matter, baby, and some luxury goods. There's 2 void matters. Void matters are, I remember those are worth a lot. So, does this still weigh 400 pounds? Is it because void matter weighs a lot?
Nope, this one's a lot lighter.
Can I consolidate any of these?
Why, yes, you can. None of these are even remotely to capacity.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the first crate. I'd imagine is pretty close to 400 because you said that.
They're all pretty close to 400 in weight. But the crate itself could probably hold 1,500 kilograms worth of stuff. That guesstimate. Like they're not full.
Okay. So I'm going to do some consolidation.
I'm just
I'm going to...
just gonna put them in the open position so you can see what's in them.
Thank you. And if anybody else wants to help with this puzzle, I know that the Cobalt 60s are worth a good bit in the spectral irons. And I don't remember these star sapphires. If anybody does, that'd be cool. Let me know.
Now, the great thing about sapphires is they're really light and small.
Right? So, I'd imagine that these are worth a pretty penny up here.
You guys are out here doing this, and I forgot to ask you last turn, and I'm sorry. Can I get a recon check from both Garrett and Hylar?
Recons, yes. Because I'm going to steal your dice. They have failed me yet again.
11.
They ran out of juice.
Garrett sees it. Okay. One of the sharks has been making its way closer and closer. Garrett realizes that when he cut himself for his 1 point of damage earlier, he's bleeding. And there are sharks.
Hylar, there's still sharks out here, and I just realized that I'm bleeding. So this is not going to be good.
Well, you have a spear gun. I made it for you. Shoot the shark.
This is true, yes, but there are many potential sharks that will be smelling the fact that I am leaking blood.
If you make the other shark leak blood, more blood,
This is correct.
this is the way.
Okay. We're going to come back upstairs to Marcus and Braylix. What are you guys' next moves?
Hey, Brelix, I'm gonna check out this other door here, and then we should probably get back down to helping them move the cargo.
That sounds good. Right behind you. Swim, swim, swim.
Okay. The door opens. This office, most of the stuff is bolted down. But a quick review of the room reveals a interesting looking wooden ornate chest sitting at the foot of what is obviously the captain's bed, and a fully powered, self-powered terminal. The desk is a ornate marble finish, and the reason that it's self-powered is it is a datapad style tablet that has been inset into the desk and is designed to be the captain's removable tablet. This whole desk is like an ornate dock for it.
I'll check the chest, and you check the tablet thing?
I mean, I might just take it with us, but let me take a peek first.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the chest and everything around it to see if it's like rigged or anything like that.
Give me a recon check.
$11.
Okay. You go to the chest, and there is an old school physical padlock, like think pirate lock, on the front of it, and it is locked. And for a second, you're like, shit. And you see this captain's coat draped over the foot of the bed, as though he left in a hurry and dropped the coat. And on a whim, you search the pockets of the coat and find the key. You are able to get the chest open. The chest itself, once again, is ornate. And when I say ornate, it's encrusted in like fine metals and such, and it's got carvings in it, and it's probably worth something just as a chest since you have the full set and the key. But you can go ahead and open it now and look inside. Braylix, what do you got going on?
Is the terminal unlocked?
No, the terminal is password protected. It is, however, completely on, and appears to be water resistant, at least at this level.
And you said it was like a dock for a tablet, so...
Yeah, sorry, the tablet's the only thing that's on. The monitor is cooked.
I'm gonna pick up the tablet and just hold on to that and take that with me.
Okay.
Grab his chest. Go ahead.
Hold on a second. Braylix, you reach down, you pick up the tablet. You have to take your hand and unconnect the dock. And as you do, you get like a little static shock even through your suit as you do it. And a brief string of unidentified symbols. It looks like it's script, but you don't understand the language. Scrolls for like a quarter second across your internal HUD. And then goes away.
That was weird.
Okay, Marcus, what's your
I'm gonna grab a chest and
you're gonna
make my way back to.
you're gonna need help.
Alex, you wanna? There's lots of fun and excitement here.
Yeah. Hold. Got a tablet. I take a peek underneath of there to see if I see anything weird under there.
In the desk, like in the compartment underneath where the tablet was, or in the drawers, or on the tablet, or what do you
The first place is where I got shocked. That feels weird. I'm going to stare at that, and then I'm going to look through the drawers to see if he's got his password written down and saved there.
Okay. You open the first drawer. He does not have his password written down. However, there is a pistol inside of the first drawer. And there's another thing in there. Here you go. These two things are in the drawer.
That's weird. But you need me to help you with that. Cool. I take these. I got a tablet. I'm looking for I'm in a dive suit, so I kind of just strap that to my thigh.
You guys probably have dump bags.
I push that in the dump bag with the tablet, and I go, "Oh, that looks heavy. Let's see if I can help."
Okay, with the two of you working it, I won't make you roll for it, but you will struggle to get it down through like the stairwell and stuff. Alternately, there is an outside door on each side of the bridge that you guys could try to open. I'll let you guys ponder that. I'm gonna circle back down to these guys downstairs. Hylar and Garrett. How is this operation down here going?
Well, how close is the shark?
Pretty close at this point. That's one of the reasons I was asking. The first question: are either of you outside of the cargo bay?
No, and if that shark comes close to Garrett, I'm going to shoot it. But I think Garrett should shoot it while it's still away from us.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to stay away from it. I'm moving into the area. I'm assuming these are outside the cargo area, right? Or are we setting these up inside cargo?
they are outside. You guys already did that part.
Staged.
Yep. So I'm moving inside, and I am going to try and protect myself. But I also want to try and look for something that might be in the area that I could use to seal my suit to keep myself from bleeding.
Okay. It's difficult to do underwater, but it's not impossible.
Flex seal.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not impossible, but a lot of things don't work under salt water. Salt water tends to corrode adhesives. But since you've gone inside, the answer question to how close the shark is, you don't know. You guys have walked inside. You don't have line of sight on it.
All right, I guess we'll find out the next time I'm going to go after these cargo crates.
Okay.
What's in this one?
You continue with business as usual.
Oh, yes. I'm happy with this.
All right, so you move that over there. Does that mean that you both pick this crate up and move it back outside?
Yes.
Okay, well, as you guys walk out the door, let me show you where that shark is because, that's important. It's like right here. Like as you walk out that cargo door, it's right there.
Garrett, shoot it.
If I shoot it, we're just going to draw more. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that you need to give me a reaction with your dexterity.
Both of us are just Garrett.
It's going to be both of you ultimately, but right now it's just Garrett.
All right, so reaction with dexterity, you said?
Mm-hmm.
6.
Oof. Okay. Well, you're going to get bit. So, not going to be good. Where is it? Here, Sharky. There we go. That is 4d6 damage. Are your
Holy
dice?
shit. Garrett's gonna die.
That is 19 damage.
Garrett's dead.
You are in the mouth. You're grappled with the shark.
You said 4. What was that damage again?
It was 19 damage total.
Gotcha.
God, and then these sharks famously do death rolls. I'm just kidding. Sharks don't do that.
That's an alligator. They do have AP, but you're in a dive suit, so you don't actually have armor.
So I am through my endurance and dexterity, so I think I am unconscious.
You are unconscious if you're through both of those. So, Hylar, you are out here when this happens. You watch the shark swoop in, grab Garrett. Garrett's in his mouth and is rendered unconscious in the first bite. It has bit him center mass, and there's blood everywhere. What do you do?
Fucking hell. Well, as his physician, I have to say that this is terrible for his health, and he should never have considered getting bitten by a shark. Poor choices. I'm gonna shoot the shark with the fucking spear gun. Garrett.
Hylar's like he should have done.
Like, I prescribed the shark a spear.
Let's prescribe the shark a spear.
Oh, no. It's a terrible roll.
How bad is a terrible roll? Is it Snake Eyes?
No, it's not the snake, guys. I have 0 in slug, so I rolled a 4, and then I've got the +1 in dexterity for a 5 total.
That is not going to hack it. Okay. You miss. Did you bring spare spears?
I had 5 spear guns, but I think I passed them all out. And that's my spear gone. Hopefully, maybe my luck roll next time will mean that Garrett's spear gun fell when he got chomped.
Yeah.
Or maybe he still has it in his hand. No, he's unconscious. That wouldn't do me any good.
Actually, I have a really important question that might save Garrett's life. Garrett, what are you carrying out of the improvised equipment? Because I know you're carrying the lift bags, but are you also carrying those sonic things?
I am. We each have those.
Okay. We're going to do a luck roll on your turn in a minute. I'm also going to give a turn to the other two guys because I would like to hear Hylar's explanation over comms of what's going on before I decide, before Braylix and Marcus, I should say, decide what they're going to do.
Well, over comms to the other guys, Hylar is screaming, Garrett got chomped! A great white came out of nowhere and chomped Garrett! Garrett's cut in half! Oh my god, he's in the shark's mouth! It's up to them on what they want to do now, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I think they're muted.
I'm in
Just
shock still.
In shock, yeah. We're just trying to carry a heavy chest down a stairwell.
Or then out the door we go. Yep.
Okay, well, they're carrying the chests. So.
Yeah, apparently that's more important than fucking Garrett's life.
Oh, I love
Oh, we're not even going to put this down.
Earlier, Marcus is all like, you guys are all worried about loot when we should be getting intel for the resistance. And I was like, I got fucking loot, man.
Just so we're on the same page, I meant the door of the bridge so I can get on top of like a downward shot at it.
Freaking Thodub's just sitting over there like, fuck you guys.
The shark is getting ready to pick me out of his teeth with a friggin' spear gun.
All right, if you guys want to rush and try to get a shot in the same round, I will require a swim check, which can be strength or dexterity or endurance, depending on which one works for you. And I will give that to both of them if Braillix decides he also wants to try to do this.
Yeah. We're going up the top part of the bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dexterity, go fast.
A 7.
I got a 6.
Okay. Would either of you like to push your rolls?
Yeah.
Let's
do it.
definitely. We're both bumping into each other as we're going through this tiny space.
A 7.
A 3.
Garrett, oh god, you're dead.
It may be worse than that.
What were you guys shooting?
They didn't shoot yet. That was for them to get out of the door, and I was determining whether that door was going to be the one that... So when they pushed their rolls, I was deciding whether or not that was the booby trap door, because nobody checked.
Oh, dear.
Save them.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do this. All right, that's 8 for Marcus and 5 for Kizik. Damage. As a improvised explosive goes off as soon as you open the door. It's a concussive charge, and it's meant to render you unconscious underwater. But because, concussion underwater actually does a lot of damage, you're gonna take damage.
I'm unconscious as well.
I also am unconscious.
Hylar, it's worse.
God damn it. I just had this little thought of like, Grandpa Hylar, can you tell us the story about why you won't go in the water anymore?
We can't even have a cat bowl around you.
Sharks, Timmy. There's sharks everywhere. And then one after another, my friends just exploded. Oh, shit.
Well, okay, so massive explosion went off up there?
Yeah. It would also have shaken the entire wreck enough that, you can hear the groaning and the whole wreck is shifted a little bit, because that was a proper explosive. So, and this thing is not stable. So, the steel that's all really sharp starts, swinging around a little bit, and the whole thing rocks back and forth a little bit because it's resting on the bottom.
All right. Can I swim hard enough to catch up with the shark with Garrett in his mouth?
It's actually seems to be pretty preoccupied with trying to eat Garrett, and it's got its back to you. It's not actually trying to swim away. But you can try to swim up to it if you would like.
I never said this, but do I have my sword?
You had initially said that you didn't want it, but you know what? Roll your luck. If you pass a luck roll, you have your sword.
Yeah. Come on, Cosmo and Wanda. All right, that's a 10.
Okay, you have your sword.
Fantastic. I'm going to save Garrett's life. Let's go. I'm going to try to stab a shark with the sword.
You're gonna stab, or you're gonna try to take pieces off.
Slashing, I think, is harder in the water. I think a stabbing motion might be better for my form.
That is actually quite correct.
So stabby death. Okay, so I rolled a 7. I've got a 1 in blade for an 8, and then I've got another 1 in dex for a 9.
And your damage, and it's AP 2 or 10.
It is AP 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna bark Hizix dice here. That's 9 damage, AP 5.
Okay, that's a dead shark.
Alright, I'm gonna save one of you at a time. Garrett first. I don't know how to bring you out of unconsciousness.
All right, I'm going to get in the Wayback Machine, and I'm going to help you just a little bit. You said way back that you grabbed a lot of the good drugs from the med bay and shoved them in your pocket because you know you need them.
I did.
You passed a luck roll. So you're going to have, I can't remember if it's a fast or slow drug, but the one that slows the metabolism down enough that basically puts a person in temporary stasis so they can seek medical care. And you have one.
That sounds like the slow.
You have 1 dose of that.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna pull Garrett's body out of the dead shark and kick off, doing some sort of in the water somersault backflip thing to get away from the bloody carcass that's going to draw more sharks in. We're gonna dive into the cargo bay, and then I'm gonna give Garrett the slow medication.
Okay.
And then I'm going to check his emergency venting button that Marcus put on everybody that would draw us to the surface in an emergency. I'm going to check that on Garrett. And then, after checking vitals and seeing if he's okay, I'm going to jettison him up.
Okay, so you're going to pop his life preserver.
Yeah, if he's clear... Like, he's still bloody. I don't want to send him up in a flurry of sharks. Just make this, like, a decoy situation where everybody else gets away except Garrett.
I was gonna
that
point,
would be an awful idea.
I was going to point out 2 things. One of which is he's obviously still bleeding. And there are a bunch of sharks out there. And number 2 is, you ever heard of the bends?
Yeah, that's a bad plan. As your physician, I recommend not the bends. All right,
okay.
so can I do a medicine check?
But you popped him with this slow drug.
Yeah.
So you can do a medicine check if you want to spend the time to work on him. It is 1d6 minutes to do a first aid check. If you want to do a full proper one. It cannot be done in combat. But you've popped him with the drug, and you know enough to know that even if his mask were off and he were not able, like, he is getting air. His mask is on because you guys have the mic masks, so they stay on. And he is getting air. But even if he wasn't, you popped him with the stasis drug. So he's not in danger of dying right this second.
Good. I'm going to leave his ass and go find Brelix and Marcus.
All right, you swim upstairs, and where are their tokens at? They were actually, or right here. The door that they've popped is right here. And you can see where the explosive bent the frame back, and they are both just kind of floating, unconscious. As you get closer, all the blood vessels in their soft tissues, like their eyes and ears and nose, like there's just blood flowing out into their masks from these areas, and that is a problem.
So it was concussive damage that hurt them. They're not bleeding out of their suits, though. There's no little trails of blood.
Yeah, it's actually it's worse because they're like bleeding from their nose, eyes, and ears into their masks. So their mask, where they're breathing from, is filling with blood.
Yep. Okay. Shit. I don't know how to save all of it all.
You can just
I only
roll.
have
You
enough
can you
drugs.
can roll your medicine check to like. You don't need to know the answer as the player.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what I can do here with this medicine check. All right. This medic check is brought to you by Tylenol. I got an 8.
Okay. So you're able to figure out a concoction of drugs that will bring them back to consciousness. They will still have negative hit points, but it will bring them back to consciousness and will cause their blood to start clotting appropriately, so they are not profusely bleeding in their own helmets. Still a pretty desperate situation, but they'll be awake.
Yeah, can I, with what I know about vac suits, help them purge their masks so that they can get, clear air?
That's a fantastic idea. Yes, you can do that.
All right, I'll bring you guys back, and then I gotta go save Garrett's ass. He got chomped, guys. Got chomped.
God, it exploded.
Yeah.
Underwater compression.
That does suck. But I could not get Garrett to become conscious again, so y'all are lucky.
Also, thank you. I'll be
So
down in a second.
we should check for more traps.
Just didn't want to open the door.
Nope.
All right.
Okay, I'm going back to Garrett.
All right, we'll figure this out. You good, Bradix?
I mean, no, but I'm alive.
Are you functional enough?
Yeah. Let's try to save Garrett.
Yes.
And bring the loot.
Garrett could be loot. Can you just put him in a box?
Oh, and send him up? No, haven't you ever heard of the bins?
I mean, we could send him up slower at that point. Maybe a sealed box to keep the blood inside.
If we double up the boxes and make them weigh more.
Oh my god, it's a Garrett bait box.
So we have a catfish decoy and a Garrett bait box. No, but we'll figure this out. How much time do we have left? It's been like, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours now?
Yeah, 6 hours assumes normal breathing. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not what's going on here.
Yeah, so we should head back to the submarine and rest.
Define rest.
I mean, you guys just had a harrowing experience. How long will it take for you to recover?
But I don't think we're coming back to the ship. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, you've got 5 hours before our little self-made timer bomb thing goes off, our sonar bomb.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Like we throw what we have down here, and we.
I'll help you guys back, and I'll take this cargo crate with us. And these will stay staged until we get back.
Or like they're ready. Oh, have you guys attached the stuff to them yet, or?
One of them has stuff attached, but the rest of them have not. And I don't know if we want to surface and make all the noise if we're so hurt. If we swim back, or if you guys can make it back, I can carry this cargo crate, maybe.
But no, your only way of recovering these cargo crates is going to be to pull the lift bag and surface them.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, never mind.
They're way too heavy to carry.
Well, then we're gonna blast them, and I'm gonna use my skills to attach the blast things to them.
Yeah, do we bring down the last of the crates and launch them all, or do we just go with what we have? Your call, Dr. Man.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna go with what we got. We only have enough blasters to do one more crate anyway. We had 5, so we got
Well,
4 crates here.
There's a fancy chest of all sorts of money upstairs.
Well, why didn't you say so? I'm gonna go get the chest.
Because we were trumped by... Fuck, Garrett's been eaten by a shark.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, you guys didn't bring it with you when you recovered and came down here?
Are they down there? I got Marcus up here on mine.
Oh, sorry, Brelix is here.
Yeah, I swam over it. I can't carry that. That's really heavy. And my head still hurts.
Hi there. Come up here and help me.
Alright, I'll go help you.
Grab giant chest.
Yeah, with a 2-person, I'm going to let you just take it down there.
And I'll help attach the thingies.
Okay, it's survival for attaching each of them. But I'll let you guys double check it. So everybody only gets 1 roll, but 2 people can make rolls.
Okay.
But if you both fail, then someone just pulled on it and said, that'll hold it.
Got an 8.
8's all you need.
I got an 8.
8's all you need.
Prolix will look at him and say, yeah, that'll hold.
Do we need 1 more?
I think that makes 3 of them that have the stuff on them.
Oh, we need 2 more.
Yep. Moving to the next one. Definitely
Excellent.
10.
9.
Excellent. Okay, you guys got your lift bags all situated. There are blood bubbles coming out of the side of Garrett's helmet. He looks like he's probably going to be okay, right? There's a giant shark mark, like, missing from the inside of his chest.
Women love scars, man. They're gonna, like, eat that up. I mean, take a bite out of it. I mean, you'll be good with the ladies.
Alright, let's get going.
He looks real sharp.
He looks real sharp. Oh, that was good. All right, let's move. The drone's not going, but everything else is going up to the surface.
You said I could fix it.
You can fix it, but how are you getting it out there?
Put it in one of the boxes.
Okay. Put it in one of the boxes. Oh, these are locked somehow. That must have been my fault. All right. You guys pop smoke. Get the fuck out of there. Let me pack that map up. You didn't...
Whoa, so we surface and I get to use the crane to pick them up?
You guys get back into the submarine, all bloodied up first.
Oh, yes. I'm not bloodied. Everybody else is bloodied.
You get on board, and Jill's like, I told you not to take the sword.
Hey, look, the sword saved our asses. All right? I just want to say, Jill, I don't think I'll ever put this thing down.
So you guys get back to the sub way before the thing is supposed to go off. You've probably got 3 hours before the decoy thing goes off.
Okay. Well, I still want to use that timing if I can. So I want to get these guys into medbay.
Okay. In medbay, you have 1 auto dock, 1 low berth, and 1 surgical bed. And you are the physician. Who gets what?
All right. I believe that surgery is probably not going to fix concussive wounds, but surgery would probably fix a lot of shark bite stuff. So I'm going to put Garrett on the surgical table.
Okay.
I'm going to put Brelix in the auto dock.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give Marcus a lot of painkillers.
Okay. Okay. You put Bralix in the auto dock. That is a 9 plus 4 for a 13. And basically, flops regenerate naturally, so this is in addition to. But it starts injecting and patching and splicing you up, and the thing is, it's supposed to take 24 hours to heal you for this, so whether or not Bralix stays in it the whole time is up to you, because you are conscious, so you can make your own decisions. But 13 is a positive of 5, so you can get 5 of your hit points back, and I think you only took 5.
Down 5, up 5.
You can come back up 5, but you got to stay in this thing for 24 hours. And since we're not completely done with the session yet, if you want to hop out and do stuff, that is completely acceptable. Marcus, you're on natural healing plus meds. I need an endurance roll at your current stats.
Yes, endurance at a minus everything.
Yes.
Or is it minus?
I can't help him with this.
But you are helping him because I'm going to give him a +2 at the end for his meds.
Okay.
So dice -1. What could go wrong? 8.
Okay. +2, you get 2 hit points back after 24 hours of natural healing.
Oh, sorry, I did the 2 in there. It's 8 with the +2.
Oh, okay. You get 1 hit point back.
You know what? That makes my endurance 1.
So, but after 24 hours of natural healing, but also because you're doing natural healing, you don't have to worry about being in the auto dock or anything. That's you as walking wounded. Okay, now surgery for Thodubs. First off,
I got you, Garrett.
Garrett has been injected with this life or death drug, and this drug is actually just as likely to kill him as anything else if he doesn't get the right medical attention. But you know what you're doing, as you are more or less a actual physician at this point. So we're going to lead with you doing a surgical check. You have a surgical bay available in this med bay. You get a +4 to your surgery check. It takes 1d6 hours to perform surgery.
All right, so for time, it takes 3 hours. And for... Okay, that's not bad. So I got an 11 without the +4.
Okay. So everything above 8 is a hit point he gets back.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. So that's 15 total, and everything above 8. So you get 7 hit points back.
Does that bring you back up to consciousness?
It gets me back into my dexterity. So
yes, you wake up.
Yep.
Okay, so you are going to wake up on the table. You are still... a shark has bitten you, and you've been stitched back together like a broken doll. But you are going to be able to wake up.
Hey, buddy.
All right. What the hell? What the hell happened? All I remember seeing is jaws. What the?
Yeah, shark bite. Ooh, ha,
Oh, gosh. It's all right. So what is? Oh man. All right. Thank you so much.
The drugs are going to wear off soon. And then I'm going to hit you again with some more painkillers. But, I mean, the important thing is that you're alive and that I reattached most of your arm. Because, have you seen that steak and cheese meat that they use, like, before it's frozen? Or, like, really thawed out? It's a lot like that. But we pieced you back
No.
together, buddy.
No, my arm.
Yeah, it was caught in between, I guess, his top and bottom jaws, and he just really gnarlied you, man.
Okay. Do I still have an arm?
Yes, yeah. Look, I want you to put your 2 fingers together, right? Because, yep, thumb and forefinger. Your right hand. Your right hand. The other hand.
That's not my right hand. What are you talking? But I can't feel anything.
Okay, well, we'll try again in a little bit. I
Because
am sure that it's connected back, right?
you are a better person than me, because as Garrett swam back to consciousness, the first thing I would have said if I'd been Hylar is, you remember when I said to shoot the shark?
Right? And I'll bring that up now.
So evil.
So,
The next time I'm making sushi, that's all I gotta say.
yeah, the shark thing, as it came swimming up on you, and I was like, shoot her! Shoot her! You didn't do it.
Yeah, that's not ever gonna happen again.
But yeah, I think of certain reverence when you eat sushi now. Probably pretty smart.
You look back and you see Brelix floating in the thing with his eyes about big as saucers, just trying to figure out what he just watched.
Little robotic hands are just like going up to him and like giving him little injections, and like they staple his skin shut, and then they come back over it with a little laser, and then like he's healing at an amazing rate.
But he just watched the guy that used to sleep in his own room do surgery. And he doesn't understand how to put all of that together.
I've been watching a lot of like how-to videos lately.
I looked it up on YouTube. This bit goes into this bit.
Right? You know what really frustrates me? In like an emergency situation, like how to do a Heimlich maneuver, there's an ad. It's like a 30-second ad. YouTube is killing people. They really got to take those ads out.
Time lost is brain lost. I know that.
Anyway, that's my old man rant for the day.
That was very dystopian. I'm processing that myself right now. Anyway,
I mean, I could get it if you're like looking up a recipe for chicken, but goddamn, I'm like trying to do the Heimlich maneuver or CPR. You know, I need to know how to do that now. 911 is free on phones. Any phone can call it, even if you don't have service. But YouTube makes you watch an ad for an emergency. That's it's fucked up.
so you guys surface, pull your crane stuff in before the stuff goes off. Is that how you're doing it?
Oh yes, yes.
We only have a few minutes left, so I want to get these on board.
Also, your 3-hour surgery matched that perfectly, time-wise.
Awesome.
And
your first words should have been, hold on, I gotta go play on a crane.
And you guys got a majority of the good loot without fully exploring the wreck. So kudos on that.
Well, I apologize for the actions of my friends, but I wished to explore more of the wreck.
No, this was good for me. Sorry, guys. This is the best outcome, where you almost wiped, but you didn't. That's the best.
Did it feel that way for you guys?
Yay!
We survived. I don't know how much help we're gonna be on the next mission, but I got 1 hit point in endurance.
So you
good.
you guys will naturally heal over a certain amount of time, especially under a doctor's care. And it's going to take like weeks to get to the next destination at sea. So
I highly recommend the auto doctor. It is pleasant.
that actually only does it that good for you. But
Don't tell them that.
yeah. Also, it's +2 for the surgical bay, not +4. But we're not retconning it because we already did it. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
it's fine.
you-
I was looking
two
at
less
it.
points.
And I was like, it's fine. He needs those points. So, but yeah, there's a bunch of loot
Did
on
get bit
board.
by a shark.
Yeah, he got bit by a shark. Almost wiped the whole party. There's a bunch of loot in the cargo bay.
And we got some data wafers and
Oh yeah,
app locations.
we got data wafers and
A tablet.
Braylix got touched inappropriately. So
Yeah. I'm scared to talk to anybody now.
Oh, yeah, your captain's chest was very lootable.
mm-hmm.
I like that.
You leave my chest alone. You got your chests.
Oh, if we're not splitting them like that, I'm sharing.
Of course we're sharing. I'm just being a turd.
There's a lot of void matter here. I'd hate to take all those accents by myself. That's quite a bit. I think most of this stuff is all accent stuff.
Everything you
Trying to remember what the conversion is.
everything in that pile right there, you've all pulled out is yep.
Now I don't think this, but this is still good trade material, you know. But I don't think it's accent worthy.
There's still plenty of like you said, trade material or just straight up money.
We did good piracy, guys. Good jobs.
That was perfectly legal salvage.
Arr.
Oh, I thought it was like because it's war's time and we're on the opposite side as them. It's still piracy.
You can call it whatever you want. I'm just looking through here real fast. I thought there was a certain... Maybe not. Okay. Lord knows what I did with that then.
That was fun, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry you all took so much damage.
Oh, I know where it is. There's a couple bags of gems in the captain's chest that might have a couple other things in there you might be looking for. Yeah, so you guys enjoy it. We're at the end of the session. I think, I'm tickled to death, obviously. A lot, especially since, it's a guilt-free pleasure because everybody lived to the end.
There, yeah, nebula. Nice.
The other stuff is worth it too.
Yep. That's huge.
Yeah,
Nicely
so-
done, gentlemen.
Good haul.
And a spiffy looking chest.
Well, thank you.
I have a pirate chest. And by
Well, technically, Garrett's got a pirate's chest too. It's all bitten by a shark.
I've got some scars to show the girls.
Yep.
Scars.
All right, so next time your guys' plan is to go do Jill's resupply mission, where you're going to drop off a bunch of these supplies with the Ironwood's partisans, who are fighting against the Unity in and around the city center of Ironwoods. And we'll see what you guys do from there.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks everybody on the
Good
stream for
times.
stopping by. See you next time.